This week, the San Francisco 49ers faced a storm both on and off the field. From first half field with frustrating penalties and missed opportunities to a second half comeback powered by rookies stepping it up when it mattered most. But the drama didn't stop there. Locker room tensions, a controversial post-game statement from Nick Bosa, and the heartbreaking news of Charvarius Ward's devastating personal loss has left this team and its fans reeling in the middle of its bye week. Today, we'll break down the game, examine the fallout, and hand out some mid-season grades, courtesy of the 49 Problemz, brought to you by the Red and Gold. It's on Dead and Cold Podcast Network. Stay tuned and enjoy the show.
Yeah, this is Kyle Shanahan. You are now tuning into the 49 Problemz, where these two guys try to act like they know more than me. All they do is talk shit. 100% unfiltered, uncut fan reactions. Here to talk about all the drama. And now your hosts, Kyle J. Vigil and Ray J. Garcia. Assholes.
I'm offended. Call me an asshole.
He's been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah. You get one win and you're cocky. All of a sudden, Shanahan gets a win and he gets cocky.
All of a sudden, you're feeling yourself.
I mean, you always beat Dak. Kind of like Reed and Mahomes always beat you. So.
Ray J. Garcia.
Kyle J. Vigil.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning into the 49 Problemz podcast. We are recording live in, where are we? Hey, when I finally built the studio, I want to have like a whole introduction where I'm like, recorded live from the 49er way. Have our little address. That'd be dope.
I think I got one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where I got the idea, because I remember seeing like a street sign that said something like that. Middle of the bye week, bro. This time last year, this episode we titled the bye week blues because we were on a 3-game losing streak. Right now, the 49ers happen to be 500, sitting at 4-4. Ray J. Garcia has been to the last 2 games in a row. Ray, I've only been to a losing game. How does it feel to go to a winning 49ers game against the Cowboys?
Oh, I went to the one last year too. It felt good. I mean, to get a win, and then just happened to get seats next to a bunch of people I knew.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah, well, I know a lot of Cowboy fans from town.
Oh yeah.
That ended up going.
So for real?
Yeah. So
yeah, you got a little. Yeah,
I'm sitting there probably across the little walkway. But I'd say my seats were probably about middle section.
About where that one confused Kansas City, San Francisco 49er fan was during our game?
Oh, yeah. No. He was, this was lower level.
Yeah.
But I'd say probably about maybe 10, 15 seats away.
Okay.
So we're able to kind of like talk shit back and forth. And,
able to jot up.
And then just random people from, that I knew too from town that were sitting behind me.
Yeah.
You know, one of my buddies, our kids played, ball together growing up. So it's kind of cool to have just some common folk there.
Yeah.
They'd be able to enjoy a win and celebrate a win. You know?
That was a crazy game, though.
So, yeah, no, it was fun.
How close did, how many of these games have we watched this season where?
I think I got
You got some videos?
Yeah, I recorded a touchdown.
Yeah, I was going through our clips from when we went. I got some good stuff. I hadn't actually sat down and went through it all. But 49ers, I was gonna say they're coming out of that Dallas game. How many of these games have we sat here this season alone? We'll focus on this season, but where these fools had a lead and then starts dwindling. You know what I mean? Wasn't it like 17 points at one point against Dallas, and then next thing you know, it's a 6-point game going in towards the end of the fourth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was sitting there at home, but what the fuck?
I was sitting there after putting up 21 points in the third, going in the fourth. I'm seeing, one touchdown. I'm like, all right, we still got 2-point lead, 2-score lead. All right. And then I see another touchdown. I'm like, fuck. And then we get the ball, and we're not doing too well. I think we get a third down situation.
I wanted to kind of
with 3 minutes left or 2 minutes left, and like I said, the Cowboys fans there. So I'm sitting over there pointing at them, laughing, and one of my buddies like, "Hey, the game ain't over yet."
Yeah, and it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Because
I
I forgot I was kind of enjoying the festivities of the game, so I was probably a couple tall cans down.
You were celebrating a little too early?
No, I celebrated the whole way. But just rubbing it in their face too early.
Yeah.
I did have one Cowboy fan start talking shit to me, and when I started talking shit back, he kind of like, "Hey man, I got my kids here." I said, "Hey bro, it's all good." I shook his hand. I said, "But you started talking shit."
Yeah.
You should think about your kids before you open your mouth, because I just retaliated.
Yeah, that's number one, especially when you bring your kids to that type of environment. A lot of people say that too. Like I've heard people say,
but it wasn't like a "fuck you, I'll beat your ass."
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, "Oh, sit down, fucking Niners said, like, fuck you, the Cowboys suck," you know?
Yeah. And it's not like it's like football games.
What it was is he cheered for a play or something. It was a penalty, so they got a. I think CD Lamb caught a deep ball or whatever, got it close inside the red zone, but it got called back. And so he was cheering for it. And then when it got called back, I'm like, "Man, sit down, man. You got all excited for a penalty." And he said something about, "Oh, well, you thought you were going to beat the Chiefs or something." And I'm like, "Oh, bro, you got to jump on another team to talk shit." Like,
keep it real though. You didn't tell him, "Hey, sit your bitch ass down."
Nah.
Because you be getting short tempered sometimes.
Nah, it was cool.
Well, before I get more into the Dallas game, because you actually have like one thing I realized, like being live and watching the game is it's hard to focus like on the actual game sometimes. So you miss a lot of
going on.
Yeah,
and you do watch the game, but it's hard to like
from play to play. It's hard to stay focused. Like
when you watch it at home on the TV. When there's a big play, boom, you get rewind.
Yeah.
When you're there live, there's a big play, it happens, and then you just move on to the next play. You don't get no rewind.
Yeah, you're lucky if they throw it up on the big screen.
They don't emphasize that, a little bit more, so it's not burned into your head as a memory.
Yeah.
So,
and one thing that I wanted to do, I was gonna like just to kind of start putting more out. I was gonna start like going through like the game highlights and just kind of like breaking it down, because I was like, I wanted to do that with Kansas City, because watching it live, like there was a lot. Like if when me and you sit here and watch the games, we could critique them, and we go and we record, and we could sit here and be like, this is what happened,
What I think we should do, rather than like, I think we should have like you said, critique them.
Yeah.
Not so much break it down, but like break it down like the. How would you sound?
Play by play?
No, not necessarily a play by play. Like, of course, we're gonna show all the good plays.
Yeah.
But the bad,
the negative shit. Yeah.
But like, tell jokes and like make fun of it.
Yeah.
Like Mustafa getting trucked by Mahomes, like
that should be our
And we kind of put a little voice behind it, narrate, voice over there. Like,
shit.
I got you, motherfucker. Man, you ain't got shit.
Yeah, and then so like. You were there live, but like I was sitting there watching it early on in that Dallas game. It just really felt like the offense wasn't the same thing we've been talking about the offense all year long.
Field goals up until the third quarter.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think it was only 6 points in the first half.
Yeah.
Right?
6 or 9.
We called it on Anders Carlson. Like fucking Kyle Shanahan loves to kick field goals, bro.
Oh, dude!
You see how many people are like, why did we use? Everyone's like hating on Moody now. Like, what was the point of using that draft pick? You know what I mean? So we could kick a 65-yard field goal. That's just, to me, bro. At this point, like, and I don't want to take away from it was a win. We called it going into that game. The episode we recorded Saturday night before the Dallas game. We said, I think you might have said you didn't think it was a must win. But I did, because I felt like Kansas City was a must-win, like psychologically, like.
Well, I mean, at this point, in order to meet our goal, every game is a must-win, and the goal being Super Bowl. You got to get through the postseason first.
Yeah.
You got to get to the postseason to get to the Super Bowl.
Did you hear some of those remarks that Shanahan made this week? I think just.
Yeah, he called me an asshole earlier.
Yeah, earlier. I've been calling you an asshole for a few weeks now.
I know, but I just heard it. I thought he was talking to you. But then I heard it was plural, right?
The other day, now I keep seeing everyone like posting "fuck Kyle" or like shit, like because
get a fuck Kyle.
And now I'm like damn, bro, like I kind of.
He's gonna say "fuck Kyle," then it's just gonna have a J. I'll do a fish hook.
Kyle J.
I'll do a fish hook.
No, but
Since I'm an avid fisherman, a lot of you don't know that. I'm a pro fisherman.
James,
I don't brag.
James C. Niggemeyer right here. Hey, all right. Before I move on, let's acknowledge a few things. Like,
Joke time.
yeah, where we're at. Yesterday was Halloween.
We're in the dungeon.
We are in the dungeon right now. We are trespassing in the domain of the gods as we speak. Yesterday was Halloween. Did you dress up?
Dressed up as a worker.
The construction worker? You were the construction worker in the YMCA group?
It was weird, bro.
YMCA.
There was an Indian next to me, and a policeman, and a cowboy, bro. It was fucking.
Hey, you remember them all?
It was weird, bro. Yeah, they were next to me.
I couldn't remember. No, I know, but
and all of a sudden, my body just started moving with them. Yeah, I had no control. I was just like,
hey, remember
I was looking around, my arms are flowing.
Didn't some guy do that like on America's Got Talent? Where he made like all the like the puppets like that, and he would dance in the middle, and they would all dance with him. Nah, I was gonna tell you that I know it's after I left, I went to go get my costume, and I dressed up as an alien.
Oh yeah,
yeah, brown one,
illegal,
an illegal alien, and then my back got wet.
So you were Venezuelan.
Nah,
bro,
what?
You should have did that and had like fucking got like a stuffed cat.
No,
dog, bro, and had it.
So check this out. I had a bunch of glow sticks and I stuck them in my hat, like some glowing dreads. And someone was like, "Oh, what are you supposed to be?" And I was like, "I'm a dog eating Haitian." No, Halloween was yesterday. Today is Day of the Dead. Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos.
So, one thing I wanted to do, was, respect, rest in peace to all your dead homies, pouring out for your dead homies. Pouring my throat.
Whoa. Pause.
So shout out all the dead homies.
And Diddy.
Who would be some like was there anyone like favorite celebrities that died this year?
You know what? Yeah. Just don't know.
Well, I know. But one, my everyone this that time of the year, like this is that day where everyone pays respects to like they didn't have to pass away this year, but in general, like they'll pay respects to their grandparents that passed away. So, I wanted to pay respects to my grandmother. I don't think I ever acknowledged, my grandmother on this show and like what she meant to me growing up, but she was a big part of my life. Earlier this year, another like role model to me, someone that I hold in high regard, someone I consider to be a great how would you say like leader or like figure. I wouldn't say like personal mentor. It's a sport. It's a celebrity. He's a famous 49er.
An idol.
Maybe one of the greatest 49ers to ever live. But I think it's crazy that my grandmother is in heaven with O.J. Simpson. So shout out Dia de los Muertos. O.J. Simpson, he died this year. Who else we got? Shit. What else is it? No Nut November. Are you participating?
No, that's for
fags.
Single people.
Oh.
People that ain't got games.
People that don't want to nut.
That don't nut in October either.
Every
it
year.
just rhymes in November, so
they're like, I've been waiting for this all year. No, every year. I'll tell my girl, I'll be like, baby, tomorrow's November 1st. You know what that means? She's like, what? I'm like, no nut November. And I think whenever I tell her that, like she makes it like her personal mission to make me nut as quick into no nut November as possible. So it's like a psychology, it's like a reverse psychology in a way. But this year, like she thinks I'm serious. She's like, no, you keep saying no nut November, and I'm like, nah, but you don't understand.
Yeah, that's for single guys and geeks.
And Cortez,
guys that play video games all day.
Cortez needs it.
That's why I only play them at night.
Yeah. Well, I don't even have a PS5, bro. I'm waiting for Black Friday. So, Dia de los Muertos, fucking No Nut November. There's got to be some other big things coming up. Trade deadlines Tuesday.
Elections.
The elections Tuesday. Hey, in Mexico, you can't buy alcohol during the elections? Yeah. What does that say about America? They're just like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't give a fuck. Go get drunk and then go vote.
You can buy guns and alcohol.
Yeah, on the same day. You could vote for the president. This is what you can do in one day as an American. You can go to school and get shot at, get pulled over by the cops, harassed,
get your apartment taken over by a Venezuelan gang,
get your dog eaten
by Haitians,
get your puberty blocked, create your own pronouns, and vote all in one day. That's the America we live in now. And I'm all for it, ladies and gentlemen. 100% free speech, freedom of choice, freedom of doing whatever the fuck you want. Just
keep it out of politics.
Yeah. Speaking of, I know I'm kind of bouncing around all over the place, and we'll get it together. We'll dive deep into some other topics. But now that we're on the point,
that's the heme.
That's the heme speaking. Shout out Mac Drizzle. I don't know why I shouted out Mac Dre, but
Bleezy's
shout out
and
Mac
heme.
Dre.
Bleezy's and heme.
Bleezy's and heme.
It was a song.
It was a good song. The other day I told somebody if Mac Dre had never died, I think he would have been bigger than Drake and Kendrick Lamar right now. You know what I mean? In his own like way. Like he might not have been like super like mass media, like but I think in his own way he would have been a freaking
he was
powerhouse, bro.
He didn't even hit his prime.
Nuh-uh. And you see so many
so after he died, bro, like the music he made that I listened to growing up, that I was like, the new Mac Dre CDs releasing on Friday, you know, we'd go kind of like help.
Yeah.
We are for Black.
Yeah, my generation was more after he passed away is when
and that's when like the hyphy movement really
took off.
You know what I mean? Like before, like I remember when the hyphy movement took off, I'm like, dude, I was slapping that shit 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you guys you guys just know fucking stupid doo-doo dumb.
Yeah,
fucking,
Mr. Fab and
you don't know nothing about fucking when he was on the phone in prison, calling and rapping and shit. Showed X-Rated how to do, you know what I mean?
That was one of the hardest songs, bro. When I was locked up, that's the fucking motherfuckers will play that song all day, every day.
First song I remember, one of my favorite Mac Dre songs is Punk Police.
Yeah, knocking at your door. I've been down oh so long, staring at these prison walls. Same old song. Yeah, shout out Mac Dre. Day of the Dead. Rest in peace, Mac Dre. Again, another fallen, you know.
Well, shit, rest in peace, Tupac.
Shit, rest in peace. I don't know.
You know what? Didn't Niner?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm missing.
Niner lineman died, right? Was it Jesse Sapol?
I don't know.
Was it Jesse Sapol?
But, so we was talking about.
That's a Niner legend if we did.
With the election coming up. Last week, I asked you, I didn't think you, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it now, like throughout the week, because everyone's talked about it. But during the post-game little interviews, Nick Bosa popped out with the MAGA hat. And that will ruffle the feathers of the fan base, bro. Like all the little journalists. And like I've seen a couple different takes on it. And like I try not to let other people's opinions affect mine. My God honest opinion on it is that like I'm all for it. Like I said, like I'm all for it, you know? I'm all for people like but I do understand where like some other people's like stance on it. So
fuck no, bro.
What do you mean? You didn't like it?
I know, I loved it.
Oh yeah.
But I don't see anybody else's stance on it. Fuck them, bro. If you're offended by something that somebody else is wearing, don't look at it.
What people were like, where I see people
like,
arguing like in terms of like against it was the fact that like Bosa wasn't supposed to be on camera at that time. Like it wasn't, you know.
How many times do you see players go up and interrupt?
Oh, all the time.
Exactly. Whether
Kittle does it all the time. Yeah.
Even in the NBA or something like that.
But people were saying like you know, right? Before maybe like 2 months ago, maybe right before the season started, or maybe like a month or so in, 49ers posted a video on their Instagram, and it was it was Chris Conley, right? Of all players, they had Chris Conley go in there and make a vote or a speech about voting, but not towards either party. It was just basically like a nonpartisan, like make sure you get out there and vote, right? But in the comments, like it's funny because like San Francisco is a very liberal city, most of the 49er fans are probably predominantly going to be located here in California.
There's a lot of liberals. Well, you remember when we were at the game, that one liberal came up to us.
So you can see it like I always tell people, like, yeah, it's like it sounds stupid when you talk about like comments like on the internet, but it's like if you go in the comments, you can see like the difference, like the dichotomy between there's, you know what I mean? It's like people say, oh, don't allow politics in sports, but fans don't. Like fans play politics more than you know what I mean? More than anything, like they don't like that shit, bro. And then I remember the 49ers posting that, being like, this is gonna be funny, like to watch.
The thing is, they want to make it with Trump. They make it a race war and a gay bashing. That he hates the LGBT plus community.
You seen the Tony Hinchcliffe?
Yeah,
that shit was hella funny this week, bro.
But I mean,
and then Trump got his own garbage truck with fucking Trump 2024 on it. Bro, I woke up watching that shit, bro, and I started laughing first thing in the morning. I'm like, this shit can't be real, bro.
But what I'm getting at is that's all they got to run off is that's the negative that they got to push on. They don't got nothing else. If you listen to them talk,
there's no substance.
We got to beat Trump.
Yeah.
We got to beat Trump. We can't let Trump get in there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And they argue shit that
they're not even worried about the parties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not even worried about policies or the American people.
Yeah.
Where Trump, he just talks about what he's going to do, policies he's going to change, what he's going to do for the people. They don't talk about shit. All Kamala Harris talks about is, I prosecuted, illegal fucking gang, rings before. And bitch, you're letting them in.
Well, she flipped on everything. She was the one that, and she was the one that did all the BLM shit. And then she backtracked on that. She did the defund the police.
Well, that's the whole thing, bro. Like, I see a lot of people, and people say I'm voting for Kamala because she's black. That's the most ignorant thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
You're not voting for her for anything else but her skin color.
That's racist. That's prejudice.
What she did to the black community, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at all the fucking, and I'm not going to say innocent, but people that serve way more time than they deserve to for petty shit.
Yeah, to this day,
for smoking weed, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe
California has some of the stupidest laws.
Maybe a burglary or something.
Some of the strictest laws, and she's part of those. The reason for those,
Well, yeah, she brags about how strict she was as a fucking district attorney and as a prosecutor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put her as a president, it's gonna be worse for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's letting all these fucked up people. Bro, look, put it this way. All these illegal Venezuelans, Haitians, they're coming and doing. If we were to defend ourselves, no, you can't fucking steal my cat.
Yeah.
I'll fucking shoot you. You know what I mean? Or you ain't going to fucking take over my apartment. I'm going to defend my fucking homestead.
Yeah.
Which is your Second Amendment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if we were to do that, we would be in prison.
Oh, yeah,
they could come over and invade our fucking homestead, and it'd be all right.
You know what's crazy is you can't even... Yeah, you can't even talk. Like, I mean, we could talk about that, but if we were like on a bigger platform, like they would get mad about us talking about having the ability, or we should have the ability.
That's censorship.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want. That's what they want.
So
though.
you
That's
censor me. We'll go to Twitter.
Bro, Gavin Newsom,
and I'll pay the fucking be validated or whatever, that little blue check.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom tried to pass some shit where, like, if you say certain shit online, they can press charges against you. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, that shit's crazy.
But they're letting all these fucking illegals in to fucking rape and kill people.
And what I don't get, right, is the World Series just ended, and you hear about all these people complaining about the migrants, but they don't care about them playing in the World Series. They're taking all our jobs. They're taking baseball away from us. No, I'm just playing. That was a joke.
I couldn't even defend you on that. And I'm like,
but back to like, so to bring it back to since we're right here, the Nick Bosa thing, right? He's pretty much said like, oh, like, I feel like, there's the climate, it's an important time in this country. And then they asked him, they were like, how come you never did something like this before? And he's like, well, I feel like it's pretty much said like he feels like it's easier to voice your opinion now. Which there was a point in time where like it was really hard to do that if you had a certain platform,
Well, no, so I'm working for some immigrants right now, bro.
Yeah.
And
I respect immigrants.
No. Literally, they're
there's nothing wrong with
but they came over here and they're from Iran.
Yeah.
And they fucking pro-Trump. They love Trump. You know, the guy asked me the other day, like, "Hey, where's your Trump sticker? Where's your Trump shirt?" I said, "Where's yours?"
Yeah.
I've been debating on if I should get one. I said, "You know what, man? With how hostile everything is, I feel like that puts a target on your back."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe a cop's a fucking leftist.
Yeah.
You know, sees me fucking going 2 miles over the speed limit, tell him I got a Trump sticker, he's gonna pull me over and then fucking harass me for an hour or so, 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's what, and that's my thing too, right? Like, so like,
I mean, you see the videos of where they make it a point to find shit to get.
Yeah, no, for sure, yeah.
Oh, what you know, fucking, I don't know, someone's coming back with your license, I'm gonna get another cop.
Yeah.
Then they bring a cop with a dog, and then all of a sudden they're walking around your car with the dog.
Yeah.
Oh, our dog got a hit. We got a search. You got a hit of what? Give me a hit.
Yeah, and I've seen all the videos just that now that you bring it up recently.
Hey, if you found something, tell me, fucking share it.
Yeah. No, but you hit two things that like that I would say I want to elaborate on, or that I feel too strongly about. But okay, right. So illegal immigrants, illegal migration, like, yeah, okay, right. Let's say you're struggling in Mexico and your only option to get here is illegally. Okay. Like, I'm not mad at you. You're trying to survive, right?
But see, there's a difference between, and that's what I hate about when people start talking about illegal immigrants. They automatically.
The thing is when the government
automatically goes to Mexico because that's the closest border for them to get across. And the Mexicans do come across. You know,
but it's not just Mexicans. Yeah.
Even when we deport people, if we can't send them back to their country, we drop them off in Mexico.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're dropping off fucking Guatemalans,
Asians,
Haitians,
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's the border they come across. It's not necessarily only Mexicans, but the Mexicans do come across. And to be honest with you, they come across and they work.
Oh, that's the other thing I was going to hit on, right? Is that people say, like I made the joke about them taking our jobs, but for the most part, they will come here and do the jobs that nobody else wants to do. That's, you know what I mean?
It's not necessarily nobody else wants to do it. But they do the job. They work hard for fucking 8 to 10 hours a day. They don't complain. They take lower pay than everybody else, which is fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you guys want to fight for something, equality, all this BLM, LGBT wants equality. Fight for equal pay for fucking all races, all genders. That's what I was saying. I mean, the women are want equality in the workplace. Give Mexicans equality in the workplace, or the hardworking people. Yeah, not necessarily just Mexicans, the hardworking people that are put in their honest hours.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say, right? So it's like, okay, for the most part, right? We all know America was founded on immigration, right? Like, everyone came from different countries to find this country, right?
But it wasn't. But yeah,
it wasn't.
That's what they tell us.
But that's how it grew, right?
Well,
like
they tell us that they discovered this. How you discover a country that there was already a fucking people living at?
Well, they said the Chinese discovered it way before fucking Columbus.
But there was already people here.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't discovered. It was conquered.
But like, okay, so
we're gonna celebrate a holiday over here. We're gonna fucking they discovered it and they celebrate. No, they fucking conquered it.
Yeah,
they came over here and conquered it.
Yeah. Violence is something that it's never gonna change. And I think that's the thing that people don't want to accept now, is that there's parts of the world where violence is, it's gonna happen here still. In America, you know what I mean?
The thing is, they came over on ships and conquered the Native Americans.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we're flying over there in planes and fucking army tanks and fucking going to war. You know what I mean? It's the same shit. We just call it war now. You know what I mean? They dumbed it down to where we think we're fighting for something.
We call it geopolitics.
We're going over there and just conquering somebody else's land like they did fucking years ago here. Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that, but that's all that's going on. Yeah. That's why all these wars are happening.
And that's what I was saying. Like, we all know that, again, right? Like the immigrant story, like we're all here for it. We all have immigrant blood. You know what I mean? Like, some way or somehow, like, I think what it is for us.
My dad was an immigrant.
But, yeah. Well, I don't know about my dad.
No, my dad came over here. He had to get his green card,
get
all the shit, his citizenship and all that.
For us, I was like, you went full circle on it. And to me, that shows that, like, yeah, like you might be leaning, like you're very clear, like you would vote for Trump if you're gonna vote, but you're very clear on, but you're like, I can look at the immigrant, like I can look at the crisis side, and I can look at what it also provides to the people that need it, right? And that's what some people can't do. They're only like, I'm a Democrat, and that means this, or I'm a Republican, and that means this. You know,
you got to look at the bigger picture. Bro.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what I was just trying to like say. Like,
States,
yeah,
the land of the free, right?
Yeah.
And that's what all these fucking third world countries strive for, is to come to America and have lived the American dream. Right? So if you open your borders, I mean, would it make sense for these third world countries to fucking to release all these inmates? Hey, fucking you guys murdered 15 people, but now we're gonna let you free.
And that's the thing, right? Yeah. So you can't just have
we're just gonna ship you to America.
Yeah, you can't just have an open border.
So now fucking Venezuela is one of the nicest countries.
Yeah.
With the lowest crime rate.
Yeah.
Because all their people, all their fucking inmates are here.
Well, and that's the thing, though, too. It's like, so like, we know now, right? And, you know, maybe some people obviously are smarter than me on this subject, but, you know, they come over here and they're getting like, you know, a couple $1,000s a month, supposedly. And like, you see, and you see like where it's like, well, this goes back to me, you talking about the whole Ukraine thing, where it's like, they're trying to raise our property taxes here in our county.
That kind of,
we're like, bro, like, why are
that's kind of been my argument. Yeah. Though. I mean, now we're giving them stuff illegally, but for the longest time, we were paying them to come. So we would offer, How do you think a lot of these Middle Easterns own gas stations, multiple gas stations, Asians own gas stations?
It was like an incentive based.
We would give them, hey, you come here, we'll give you a loan to start a business.
Like a grant, or like,
And that's what they did. And they brought their families over here with them. And hey,
but that's also like
the whole family's going to work at this whole family's going to work at the store. We're going to keep it in house. We're going to open another store. Now, me and you were brothers, and we've done this for 5 years. They gave us this loan. We opened the store.
And then we go buy another one.
Now we're going to open a store. You're going to fucking run that store. You know what I mean? And then our kids will run the next one once we, you know, however they do it. And then they become fucking millionaires. Yeah. Bro. And our government, that's
fucked up.
Our government been doing it.
And like you said, it is.
They're coming here and creating businesses and paying taxes and contributing to our economy. Yeah. They're not just coming here and fucking. Right now, like you brought up, just giving them thousands of dollars in food stamps, financial aid, you know, low income housing. They're living better than a lot of fucking hardworking Americans
born here. They're struggling.
So
and that's what I say is you got to be able to look at all sides of the issue. You know, and it's crazy. You know, come full circle. You know, a lot of people bring up who was the first one to really make politics an issue in sports. It started with the 49ers.
Kaepernick.
Yeah, and this one, like, I feel like it kind of went under the radar. It wasn't like that big of a deal either. Like, it wasn't like
it was, and they were comparing the two.
Well, he didn't stop the game for it like Kaepernick. You know what I mean? Like, Kaepernick made a huge impact. But
Kaepernick wasn't even the first one to do it.
Well, my thing was Kaepernick was adopted by a white family that grew up in Wisconsin. But maybe he was, person. But I mean, you know, he says he, you know, talks to people. Whatever, like I'm sure he's done a lot for his community. What he believes in.
Wisconsin, you think there's a lot of black people in Wisconsin? He probably dealt with a lot of racism.
Oh, most definitely. But think about this:
as a kid, especially from a white family, being black.
But think about this, bro. But think about this, right? These white people that do this, they ain't fooling me, bro. I know exactly. I figured it out, right? You have to adopt a half black, like a mixed black kid. Aaron Judge adopted. Has white parents. Colin Kaepernick.
He's from the Bay Area.
It's like hitting the lotto, bro.
He's from the Bay Area.
That's what I'm saying. But you see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this? I know what these white families are doing. Colin Kaepernick's family. I mean, I'm pretty sure that, you know, he still got some money, but they got pretty close. Aaron Judge, fucking baseball player, cash the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Aaron Judge, he got.
You know what I mean? And I found out he had white parents, and I was thinking like that'd probably be the only way.
Look at that one movie, The Blind Side.
Yeah, that one. That was actually a joke that I was like kind of working on that I wanted to work on.
Did I just ruin it?
No. I don't have it like worked out yet, but I was trying to like see like bounce it off of you or like
You ain't bouncing nothing off my blind side.
No. No, we're like
let me go.
I might have told you.
Let me go first.
I might have told you we're like fuck, if I can't remember how it goes. Like I say something about if my daughter was to date a black guy, like if I would be okay with it. And I was thinking like I've always wanted to be one of those like proud white grandparents, the back of a black athlete's like draft photo. You know that feeling you get when you find out your favorite black athlete's not like he's like mixed, you know, you're like, what? Like Blake Griffin? When I found out, I thought Blake Griffin was like just an albino black dude, you know? He might be, I don't know.
You want the black card, that's why you want a black grandchild.
You feel me?
All of a sudden you're gonna be Michael Rappaport with the chain, half sideways, wearing the new Jordan. With some
taking
with the skinny jeans tucked into the Jordan.
You put your hat sideways there. I make fun of it. But yeah. What's up, guys?
We back already?
Yeah. That's quick. You got the good shit? Oh.
We do that all the time at work because
why?
Working in Emeryville.
Like
there's college, Berkeley's right there. So Asians walking by. The dude I work with is always watching the videos. And every time you see an Asian chick walks by, he does it.
Hey, you know what I was thinking about earlier? Remember when the Island Boys had their hook on you? Remember when like yeah, like when you couldn't get it out of your head, like every time. Yeah. Remember, like every time someone would say something, you were like, "I'm behind him."
I think they had their hooks in the whole world for like 2 weeks, bro.
It did, bro. That shit was crazy.
What? Speaking of that, I just seen him going bad. One of them going bad on some young internet influencer.
For real?
Yeah, for like just high siding and shit. Just like
I'm always seeing them like in some random videos.
Just like down and like trying to just game him up. Like,
yeah,
bro, that shit ain't gonna get you nowhere. Where's all that shit gonna be?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You just fucking invest your money, like really just gaming him up, bro. Like, whoa.
Yeah,
this dumb fuck became smart.
Yeah,
he's still retarded, but
yeah. I've always seen videos
to special needs.
I've always seen videos of these fools just getting punked.
Oh yeah. I'd punk them if they were here.
Man, that's why I told you. I might have talked about it already, but I was telling somebody the other day about the whole Ricky Pearsall situation. Like, he's not like, you know, he's like
Jack my weed.
The level of like there's different levels of fame now. Like everybody's like, I want to say everybody, but you know what I mean.
His fame came from getting shot. His fame came from his story.
So prior to him getting shot, like I'm saying, like that kid didn't know who he was. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he did.
Yeah.
You think he did?
Yeah, he followed him from the signing.
You think he knew who he was?
Yeah.
But like I'm saying, like you think he knew, like so like he might have seen like, oh, this football player is like signing.
Yeah, that fool came from like Madeira or something like that. He went to the 49ers. He was a fan. He went to the signing.
Yeah, I knew he was a 49er fan too.
Yeah, he went to the signing that he did and then followed into fucking Union Square.
What a terrible 49er fan, bro.
He ain't a fan, bro.
Yeah.
He's a poser.
But can he still be a fan though?
No.
I wonder if we should keep tabs on that fool and try to get him on the podcast.
That was like he'll probably stalk you, bro, trying to rob you. Like, hey, you're online.
He's like, oh, this fool's talking shit about me on his show.
You're internet famous. You got 30 followers.
Hey, bro, did you see? I seen this earlier, and I was like, oh, I gotta show this to Ray. And it was like, how many of these names do you remember? All of them. Matt Hasselbeck, Marshall Falk, Sean Alexander, Terry Holt, Isaac Bruce.
Who's Larry Rice?
Bro, tell me why. Okay, so last week it was what did I tell you? I said
bro, when I looked right here, like this, I seen this line, the box outline. I'm like, and I couldn't see like his picture, so I'm like, who the fuck is Harry Rice?
No, so when I seen that, it's a fair thing. Last week I told you I didn't know I had no idea Joe Montana didn't retire at 49er. Something that just never caught my attention, I guess.
Montana?
Yeah, and then I see this. I'm like, what the fuck did Jerry Rice play for the Seattle Seahawks? That's not Larry Rice, bro.
No,
But dude,
did he play? I don't remember.
Hey, but you know what's weird, bro? This is a time in the NFL like that reflects for me, like when the division, the
What
West.
fucking year was that?
This had to have been like 03, 04 maybe.
January 9th, 2005.
Oh shit, 2005. Yeah, I was gonna say this is like a reflection of when the NFC West was like at its worst. Remember, like what was it?
Fuck, I didn't know Jerry Rice's twin brother Larry played for Seattle.
Hey, all right, hold on, I got another one for you. I seen this one earlier. We got Mike Tyson and
Want to kiss Mike's big juicy lips?
He wanted to kiss me? He said
Indeed.
Huh? He said he wanted to kiss you. That's so ironic that he said that because I saw a picture of him dancing at 16 doing that little dance on YouTube, and for some reason I had an erection.
Bro. Ray, bro, your thoughts.
Mike Tyson.
Ray, your thoughts.
Wow. Is that edited?
No, that was real.
That wasn't edited?
That's the Netflix press conference for their fight. Their fight's coming up. I don't believe that was it. I believe that was real. I did not make that.
Did he just say he seen him at 16 years old dancing and gave him an erection?
Hey,
I was Jake Paul. I would not want to fight this guy.
Hey.
You're gonna be dancing in the ring. Just imagine he's gonna bend you over, and he might hit you, knock you out, that you fall face down, ass up.
You're gonna get diddled by Mike Tyson and knocked out
on Netflix for free.
We're making predictions live here on the podcast. Ray, you predicted Trump being president Tuesday. You predicting Mike Tyson Wednesday. Mike Tyson knocking out and raping. Who is it? Is it Jake Paul or Logan Paul? I always get confused.
Probably doing both. Logan Paul.
Yeah, Mike Tyson could fuck them both. Hey, remember? I think it's one of our lost episodes that I never published. But I remember trying to play one of my favorite quote from Mike Tyson on the podcast. Remember that? The one where he's like,
fucking rape his kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got some crazy role models in our life.
Yeah, bro, that'll get us demonetized, even though we're not even fucking eligible for monetization.
Yeah. I had one more I wanted to.
You heard that big word?
Yeah, monetization and eligible. You sounded like a true podcaster.
I feel like they are actually in the primal position right now to really find out what this team is going to be like going forward. As we know, they've had a great run there under Cal, and this is that telling time to see if it's all been worth it. I know they've come close the last few years, but this year, as I said before, I think this year is really going to be a big year for that team. So either they're going to make it happen, or things may be really different next year.
I just heard this today, and that's why I wanted to play it for you live on the pod. That's Patrick Willis. So you heard it. He pretty much said, how close this team's been, how many years in a row.
It's just basically saying the same thing. It's make it or break it.
And
it's make or break time. But the same thing they've been saying for the last few years.
So that's something that when I first started this podcast last year was kind of like one of the driving forces that made me really want to like kick off this pod, was because I thought last year, not only did, we sat here, bro, and predicted, we were going to go to the Super Bowl. We got that right. And that might have been like pure fan delusional hope that just everything played out in our favor. The fucking ladybug catch for Brandon Ayuk in the NFC Championship game. You know what I mean? Up until that terrible overtime loss and situational coaching.
Unknowingness of the rules.
That, bro, is something that I consistently debate with people because, they came out and backtracked on that.
The NFL was adamant about the rules.
But we know what the rules were. Like, everyone knew the overtime rules. They've been that way for 2 years already, right?
That was the first year.
It was the first year?
But they were adamant every week about talking about it.
And they read them off during the coin toss. That was the thing. They had, you know what I mean? Me and you watched it right there, bro. And
they're right here.
Right here in the backyard.
In the backyard?
Yeah.
Because I used to have a TV.
We put it outside that day.
And you do that often?
Yeah. But you know, back to that game. Okay, so here's the thing, though, right? And you might be able to like clarify further me. What facet?
Clarify further me.
Further me. Broadcast. Clarify further for me. What he didn't exactly like. Why him not? What rule did he not understand? Or like, was it the fact that? To me, I'm like the fact that he chose to kick a field goal was his conservativeness, right? And then people go, yeah, but the defense, okay, cool, whatever. That doesn't matter. Like, you're going up against Patrick Mahomes, you know what I mean? And the highest scoring, most efficient offense the NFL has seen since Tom Brady, right? They're the best offense in the NFL year after year, right? There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. They have the rings. You have to crown them until you can't. That's the way I look at it, right? Shanahan should know that. And I feel like him kicking that field goal, just like every fucking loss he's had this year, was another sign of his conservativeness and him being like, I'm just going to kick it. And he'll go to the podium and be like, the offense did its job. And it was the defense. Steve Wilkes got fired. The defense is worse this year.
But see, that brings up another point. So
we're ranting.
No. But even right now, the trade deadline.
Okay, that's where I wanted to go. Yeah.
Deadline's coming up. And you brought up a good point.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, every year the offense gets the glory, the defense is what's up.
Scapegoat, yeah.
Scapegoat. Okay, now with the trade deadline, we're down receivers. You know what I mean? We're down a running back right now. Supposed to get him back, for the bye week.
That's the word. So we'll probably talk a little bit more on that.
But still, I don't expect. I want to get more into him coming back because somebody. Somebody.
Well, let's focus on the trade deadline, and then we'll talk more about CMC. Yeah.
But all I keep hearing about for this trade deadline is the same thing they've been trying to fix for the last 4 years.
Uh-huh.
Defensive line. Trying to fix the defensive line, bro, and why not work on the offensive line? Why not work at depth or something? You know what I mean? Why do you need to get? And then I heard him talking about Chase Young.
Again, yeah.
Trying to pick Chase Young back.
Again.
Yeah.
Bro, I've seen that again, and like I don't know if that was just like people not realizing that that situation didn't work out for a reason. If it was something they liked, I'm sure they would have tried to re-sign him. But you did just like the way you
both champions.
I'm glad you hit that on. You said, okay, why not focus on the offensive line? Again, how many times have we seen?
Not to cut you off. The way I played into that, how it all went into. We went on one topic, and I kind of made it. I've been watching how to be a better podcast.
Yeah. No. Oh. You had me going there for a second. No, I was gonna be like, man, I'm proud of you, man. But see, now I was holding on to the thought, but I let go.
My bad.
What was so how many times have we seen this? Nick Bosa just needs help on the other side. Let's bring in this dude. Let's sign this dude in the offseason. Let's bring in this guy. Let's trade for this dude.
No, it's not that because
I think it's just broken at this point.
Well, Leonard Floyd now, he's putting up better numbers than Chase Young did last year.
But who's the second best offensive line or defensive lineman next to Nick Bosa so far this year? He's young, and we shouted him out because he had a really good game.
Yeah, the dude that got the interception.
Okwanu? Yeah. Second best offensive lineman defensive lineman. I said it again. Fucked up again. Second best defensive lineman for the 49ers.
So now they're not trying to put nobody opposite end of Bosa. They're trying to find somebody for the middle.
And rightly so, because how many times have we seen that failed experiment? We've seen it with Chase Young. We've seen it with Randy Gregory. We've seen Leonard Floyd not working out.
But they're trying to get somebody for the inside, which
right, yeah, it was kind of frustrating to see that name thrown around like Chase Young, but I think that might have just been like again, right? Like it's social media drives a lot of traffic and attention now, so that might have been something just to get people like us riled up. Not saying that it was like aimed at the fan base, but very frustrating to imagine like if the 49ers did entertain that idea. The other one that I seen though that was kind of interesting was maybe DeForest Buckner coming back. And then one of the funny ones that I've seen people throw out there was, hey, that Armstead guy in Jacksonville looks pretty good. Maybe we should see what's going on there.
I was gonna say that. But
Yeah.
Also, DJ Jones. If we're going for a middle guy, I wouldn't mind DJ Jones getting DJ Jones back.
But that's the position that I heard, like we talked about. You know, a lot of people were saying like, oh, the trade deadline might not be so essential to the 49ers because they're not going to trade for nobody that's better than Greenlaw and McCaffrey, right? Which eventually the hope is that they'll be able to come back and play, right? But again,
I did hear the fucking Campbell experiment's over with.
It's again, rightly so. It's, you know, I think that's one that you and I kind of seen like writing on the wall. We talked about that in the off season or going into the season, and I even went back and listened just recently at our preseason like prediction episode, and you know, like how close. Well, you were saying that we were going to go undefeated again. That's every year, but you are, you know,
I'm a fanatic. I'll be a fan for short.
He's the F word.
In case you guys didn't know, fan was short for fanatic.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, you learn something new every day. But okay, so yeah, I personally wouldn't. I don't think there's a linebacker like they would be able to trade for Devontae Campbell, like to trade to replace Devontae Campbell. I think they're probably going to wait on Greenlaw. They have some depth there with the rookies or the younger guys, the guys that, you know, the D winners.
The second year.
Yeah. And then I guess the position I would feel most concerned about right now, again, you talked about was wide receiver. And then Guerrero is obviously stepping up in a huge way. Jordan Mason, when he's healthy, has been able to really impact the game. Maybe not as much as Christian McCaffrey, but to imagine like a three-headed monster like that, I can't, you know what I mean? I don't, maybe I've seen a lot of people saying, you talked about it earlier this year, Breda. As soon as Mason got hurt, I think you brought that up. And now I see people bringing that up again now. Breda. Yeah, and people were saying they should bring him in now.
But there's a reason he's not on the roster.
There's a reason why I've seen a lot of people throwing out a bunch of names from a lot of people will go to Carolina's roster and just throw names out. And I'm like, bro, to me, I'm like, you can't just, that team's trash for a reason.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
You could pull
a diamond in the rough.
Nah, you could go to any NFL team and pick five players that you want on your team.
Yeah.
Because the team's shitty don't mean they ain't got good players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
So.
And then that goes back to what you said then. Like, because the names
there's a D lineman they're talking about from Carolina.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so it goes back to that, right?
Cornerback? Or wide receiver?
It's a wide receiver. I think his name's like Deontay Johnson or something like that. And then the defensive lineman. But then that takes me back to we don't need defensive linemen. Maybe the wide receiver position because we don't know what's going on with Debo. Last week in the Cowboys game, he was obviously
So we do need defensive linemen, but I think we need depth. I don't think we need an impact defensive lineman.
So you think it's just more like rotational?
Yeah.
They still struggle in the run game. Bro, leave it to the 49ers.
With that, you'll be able to save your cap space. You know what I mean? Because you ain't going out and getting a big name that you got to give a big contract or you're picking up a contract.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you don't necessarily need, I mean, like you said, I'm happy with our D-line if we just had, more rotational players to mix in there. Where, if you think about it in 2019, look at our D-line.
But that's when our defense. That's what I'm saying. So
like, you know what I mean?
So our defensive line had an identity.
We had like solid fucking. Our second string were starters.
Yeah. Okay. So
teams, bro,
that's what I'm saying. So we had a front seven that was like
our third string
dominant.
Or second string on other teams. You know what I mean?
We had a front seven that was dominant and feared for like a solid 3-4 years. Yeah. And then this past 2 seasons, it's been really faulty ever since. Who left first? It was so that year that Purdy got hurt, we had Omenahue and Educom, and we were still doing really good. Obviously, we still had Greenlaw. I think Alshire might have left that year, so we might have been down that third linebacker because he was a huge impact for those couple seasons too. But once we lost Omenahue and Educom, that's when the Randy Gregory experiment started, and then I always said he looked like Frankenberry. And then
D Ford.
That was D Ford was
and then Randy Gregory.
D Ford was the guy that couldn't stay on the field.
before just couldn't. I think he played half a season. And,
well, he went to the Super Bowl with 2019, and then just kept getting.
But I don't think he was healthy in 2019 either.
No, he was in the Super Bowl.
No, I know, but I think he was.
Oh, like half that season. Yeah.
Injured and
and both him and Bosa got hurt in 2020. And then
I could be wrong. That might have been his first year with us.
So all right. So
thinking after 2019.
Yeah,
he was never really on the field after that.
Do you think the 49ers will make a big move though, or make a move at all? Might not necessarily be a big move because again, right? Like there's not going to be a move that's going to create headlines other than.
But that's what I'm saying. Like where? Who?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. There's no move that's going to create a headline like Christian McCaffrey or Dre Greenlaw. We're going to get those guys back through time. You know what I mean?
The thing is, I brought up wide receivers. Okay, that's a now fix.
Yeah.
It's not a long-term fix. We don't need long-term fix at wide receiver. We just need a now fix. Same thing with running back.
I personally feel like
we can't go make a big splash on a big name wide receiver, give him a fat contract because we got that. We can't do that. We can't do that with running backs because we got that with McCaffrey already, and then Durando's fucking just showing out. We ain't paying him yet, but he's showing out. So we don't need. So we need, like I said, we need depth.
Yeah,
we need more rotation.
You know, I could see. Obviously, no long-term contract for a wide receiver, but I could see if the 49ers feel there is a wide receiver that can help them out right now, because you know how Shanahan feels about rookies. So, he might see somebody out there that he likes or that he's familiar with and be like, let's get him here for 1 year. Let's give him whatever. Like,
I think if they do make a big move,
because that would be like a vote.
But I think it's going to be D-line. If they make a big move, it's
just to piss us off and just to see it not work out again.
I mean, he called us an asshole, in the beginning. So I think he watches and he does shit out of spite for what we say.
Hey, speaking of assholes, so Eric Armstead, right? They asked him to take a pay cut this season. In this offseason, and he said no. Asked for a trade, went to Jacksonville Jaguars or whatever, right?
Miserable.
The other player that got asked to take a pay cut this year was Kyle Juszczyk.
He's unhappy. He
wasn't happy about it, but did you see everybody roasting him yesterday because he posted a bunch of clips on his Twitter from it's just a bunch of blocks that he did, and he was like, he put overpaid, and then everyone was like, bro, you literally cried because they asked you to take a pay cut.
No, I could see that being sarcastic.
Well, Steve Young came out this week and said, hey, you have two really good young running backs. He's like, and if you got Christian McCaffrey coming back, he's like, I don't want to see the fullback on the field. And a lot of people were like, that's really bold of Steve Young to go out there and say that. And Shanahan should probably listen to that too, bro. A fullback is for an offensive genius.
It's a dying position. It's a dying position, but at the same time, it's not like Juszczyk ain't an asset.
Oh no. He's had his moments on his team.
But what they're saying, okay. So I think what you heard is not Steve Young saying get.
So just wants to see less.
Get Juszczyk off the field.
No, yeah.
I think what he was saying is he wants to see more of. You got two young weapons and McCaffrey. He wants to see all three of them on the field at once.
No. It was a personnel, like it was more of a personnel thing. But yeah.
He wants to see them three running backs on the field. So with that, you got to get Kyle.
The only reason I would say, because I heard someone breaking the personnel thing down, or saying when the fullback's on the field, it takes the second tight end off, or the third wide receiver, or the extra wide receiver.
But if you think about it.
So you're taking snaps away from Juwan Jennings, who got paid this year.
No.
You're taking snaps away from Ricky Pearsall, who's with the Bills. That being
said, if they go to and put Garendo,
you're taking snaps away from Garendo.
No. But what I'm saying, if they go with their three running backs, their three young running backs, they're not going to have a Juwan Jennings on the field. They're taking Juszczyk off, and they're taking a receiver.
I don't think that's what he was alluding to. I think he was more alluding.
No, I did hear some. I did.
Oh, you see the same one? Yeah.
To where he said he wanted to see them three on the field.
Yeah.
Make more. He said he wants to see Kyle. He wants to see Shanahan get creative, mix it up, maybe put them three on the field together.
And again, right? If McCaffrey does come back,
but
you want to go.
With that being said, you do got to take Juszczyk off the field. You do got to get him less snaps.
You can't get them all out there.
Maybe maybe that's kind of what it was. You heard kind of you just picked up on the get Juszczyk off the field. I don't think it was so much as a negative, like get him off the field.
No, I didn't take it like that as much.
Let's mix it up. The NFL's onto you. They picked up onto your scheme. So
I was more or less reading between the lines, like in terms of like again, right, like back to personnel. But I've seen a lot of people saying, okay, so here we are, right? We covered the trade shit.
I'm right here.
We're here.
Here we are.
We're not queer. But
speak for me.
We're talking about. I think we covered.
Speak for me now.
I think we covered the trade stuff. But if something comes back, let me know. If it pops into your head. But. What was I gonna say? Shit, I lost it. Oh no, we're talking about McCaffrey. McCaffrey getting ready to come back.
Mike G.
Did he give you that?
The game.
Did you see him again?
No.
Oh.
Remember the game award?
Yeah.
You never drank it.
Oh, Mike Giesel? I forgot about Mike G.
Yeah, listen.
I looked up the boys 98. And I don't think we made the cut.
Bro, it's because I won an arm wrestle. You guys wanted to go to I was about to arm wrestle a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. I got elbow tendonitis, so I backed down.
This right here, we locked up, right?
Got that grit
over the top.
That Stallone.
Snap them off.
That's that Rocky.
Fuck a Brian Bosworth.
Got that arm strength. No, so McCaffrey, right? I've seen a lot of people saying if he does come back, you technically don't have to use him. Obviously, you don't want to use him as much as he was before. We've seen Shanahan overuse running backs.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
You don't. Well, not only that, he's coming off injury. You can't go in there and throw him in fucking
20 snaps, 25 snaps. But you got Mason that's hurt still too.
Well, okay, so get to McCaffrey. Maybe you can throw him in there for 20, 25 snaps.
But not actual.
Use him as a decoy.
Decoy, yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean? And I was real adamant last podcast about McCaffrey ain't going to come back and make an impact.
Yeah.
And talking to other fans, kind of opened my eyes like, fuck, bro. Because I was just looking at it from the perspective of McCaffrey's out, Garendo stepped up.
Yeah.
Balling the fuck out.
He's been doing really good.
Over 5 yards of carry.
Hey, but real quick, right?
So
let me shout you out because you
Pardon?
Next to me, like on this pod, you know what I mean? You just,
I did it.
you motherfucker.
I was gonna give you a prize.
Fuck.
Me next to you on this pod.
Trying to get more of Garendo and Mason. Like, we was asking for more of Mason last year, and then we were asking for Garendo beginning of the season. I was sitting back and let's cover McCaffrey and Garendo. But I just want to shout that.
That's kind of what I was saying. Yeah. They want to see Garendo, Mason, and McCaffrey on the field because then you got a triple threat. You got a three-headed snake. Who are you gonna double cover?
Which one are you gonna?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who are you gonna wrap your arms around?
Tackle.
Suck off.
I tried to save it. You kept it.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
but no, is there 3-back sets?
Fucking kind of like with a fullback, and maybe have somebody off to the side behind the tight end or something.
Like a strong I, and then an illegal formation.
Like a capital I.
Like a capital I, like a hard R. Like a hard I for intelligence.
Bro, I seen this fucking video. Should have had him send it to me, but it was a little black kid. He was probably about 3 or 4. And they were recording him. It was his birthday.
Yeah.
And they had him count to 10, right? And he counted to 10 in English, and they were like, all right, now count to 10 in Spanish. This motherfucker said, all he did was fucking say the number, but roll the R. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You sound like Chewbacca.
Shit was hella funny. I was dying. I'm like, that motherfucking Bible. Some of that shit though, like, bro, that shit's racist.
Oh yeah, bro. My feed is. I have to like start like I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't have liked these. You know, because it shows me who liked it. You know,
But hey, to be all bullshit
but it's
aside,
there's
like,
so much comedy on Instagram,
racism's
bro.
fucked up, but it's funny as fuck.
Yeah, it's not.
Like,
But that's
I'm
the
not
thing, though.
racist, but I'll laugh
Yeah.
at it.
No, that's the thing though. Like memes are a form of comedy. Like I think that's pretty well accepted. You
The
know.
thing with racism is, I don't think it's against a race. I think it's against a stereotype. So when people make racist
Stereotypes
comments,
are funny. That's the thing.
but I think when people
Yeah.
make their racist comments, it's not towards the whole race. It's towards
it's towards the joke, the
certain-
stereotype.
the certain
Yeah,
stereotype. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Most
Like,
definitely, yeah. It's like when I said my costume was, my back being wet. It's like it's a joke. It's not serious.
your back foot.
Yeah, my back was wet. I was a brown alien. Yeah. You got it now?
Yeah,
Remember when I spit that one freestyle?
I got it the first time. I was
Oh.
trying to-
Oh, sorry. No,
Oh, we need ice, huh?
yeah. I don't need ice. I'm cold blooded.
No, we need ice.
Quick pause.
Oh, we got that blunt. We ain't lit.
I'm gonna spark it. Put some ice in my cup. I'll take a big chunk. Ooh, you see the little
Oh my god.
ice vapor. So as Ray puts the ice away, the next subject I want to discuss is more about the players themselves. And I think we should get into some player grades. So I think we'll end this episode as a little bonus. I was just telling the people that for this next segment, I wanted to talk more about, since we're in the middle of the bye week, earlier, I mentioned last year, this is our second season of the podcast. We're in full swing. This is just the beginning. We're barely scratching the surface, but, we're sitting here mid-season, and I want to talk more about individual positions and players, like kind of like a mid-season check-in,
69.
favorite player.
Oh, positions.
Oh, positions.
Oh,
Mine?
wrong podcast.
No. Mine's the one when you're on your knees on the bed, and then
I'm never on my knees.
no, you got so first. I think we'll start with the offense. Start top down. Go with the quarterback, Brock Purdy. How you feeling about Brock Purdy at this point in the season? Because today, right? This is Friday night. We're recording this Friday night of the bye week. There's no 49er football this Sunday.
Friday, November 1st.
Friday, November 1st. Dia de los Muertos. No nut November. The Hennessy's gone.
Little one.
I keep saying no nut November, knowing damn well I'm gonna go home and plow my girlfriend on my king size bed. Huh? Not officially, but we've been together for a while. Quarterback, Brock Purdy. This week, I seen a lot of comparisons. Last night, the reason why I said today's Friday, because last night was the Houston Texans versus the Jets. And from what, I didn't even look at the final, but it sounds like the Jets
They won.
yeah, they beat the Texans, right? And everyone today was talking about Colin Cowherd putting Brock Purdy in the top 5 of his quarterback ranking. Or, no, I think for the 49ers. But I've seen a lot of people just saying in general, how come CJ Stroud hasn't been getting that much hate when Brock Purdy does? And they were calling it draftism. That was the word of the week, draftism. What's with all these isms? So,
Draft racism.
So, but it's funny, right? Because,
We had this conversation a few weeks ago where
Did we?
we try to push the dynamic.
black quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
that was just our last episode.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was like 1 or 2 ago.
But
they try to push that. See, and we're going back into politics. I believe the media pushes that racist narrative by, like we talked about earlier.
But hold on. This one is nobody's talking about how bad CJ Stroud has been versus when Brock Purdy's bad. So like this one's flipped.
Same with Jordan Love. They're
Like
still touting
they
Jordan
won't
Love.
get the
Like,
hate. Yeah.
they're still touting Jordan Love like he's the fucking or Aaron Rodgers left and Jordan Love just filled the shoes perfectly.
Yeah.
No, and Aaron Rodgers ain't a perfect quarterback.
Oh, no,
We see him struggling in New York, but
He's old.
you ain't just filling Aaron Rodgers with shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's hard to do, yeah.
That's Aaron Rodgers came in and filled Brett Favre's shoes perfectly. You ain't gonna get that twice in a row.
Yeah.
Steve Young did it for Montana, and it ain't never been replicated since in our organization, in the 49ers organization.
And it never will be.
Maybe with Brock Purdy, bro. We got Brock.
I think.
Well, not saying. Well, okay, I get what you're saying. It never will be. I mean, you never know. We might draft.
Oh, you never know. Yeah.
We might draft somebody that in 10 years that will,
Well, again, it might be Brock Purdy, right? Only time will tell. I could be eating those words in a matter of a couple years. But I think the reason why I brought this up, and I thought it would be like an interesting, little discussion to have. I do feel like, and I might have voiced this, or this is like an opinion or like a theory I've been forming, but I think the idea of an elite quarterback has changed, or the standard of quarterbacks has changed, where you only have a certain number of elite quarterbacks now, and what we used to know as elite or premier has changed, right? And now you have this level of quarterback where like every quarterback's gonna have bad games,
I don't remember who I seen pick up on this topic. Now, elite quarterback, maybe it was us. But I mean, but I got it from somewhere else. But maybe we did talk about this. But
I know
the title elite quarterback is only given to you based on your pay in the NFL.
Oh, true.
So Brock Purdy don't get put in that elite category because he's
not paid,
mystery relevant, last pick overall. He's on a veteran minimum, or not even a veteran minimum. He's on
rookie
minimum.
Yeah. You don't even get a 5th-year option. Oh wait,
I think his 5th-year option ain't.
They can franchise tag him, right?
But I think it's not a player option.
I don't think there's no 5th-year options for it.
I think it is, but it's team, not player.
I want to say they can only franchise tag next year and make him play it out.
4th year?
Yeah.
No. So
next year will be his 4th year. So they technically don't have to pay him.
Yeah. So you're right.
That's what it is.
But anyways, Brock Purdy don't get put in the elite conversation because he ain't an elite paid athlete.
Yeah.
So.
And there's a question
that's fucked up because statistically he is an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, he's outplaying CJ Stroud. He's outplaying Jordan Love. He's outplaying statistically Patrick Mahomes. Not in the game of last week.
But. Yeah, because if you look at numbers, you're like, okay, yeah, like he was like 3rd or 4th in MVP voting last year. He obviously had, he was one of the top in passing yards, touchdown and interception ratios. But he also has some games where like he implodes, just like every other quarterback in the NFL. We've seen Mahomes have multiple interception games. We've seen Brady have multiple interception games. That's not unique to Brock Purdy, right? It's not unique to CJ Stroud. My personal opinion right now on CJ Stroud is sophomore slump. Like, how many times have we seen QBs specifically, not just, I feel like almost every player goes through a sophomore slump. It's rare to see a player like, be consistent and have an immediate like superstar impact from rookie to, Nick Bosa's one of them. You know what I mean? But I even feel like Debo had a sophomore slump. I feel like Brandon Ayuk.
With CJ Stroud, I don't feel like it's a sophomore slump. I feel like the quarterback position, they put so much pressure on these quarterbacks to be elite at a college, they don't give them time to develop.
I've seen a lot of people bringing that up this week too, yeah.
Where right now, you got the perfect scenario with Jordan Love. He was one that was given the opportunity to develop.
But what is sitting on the bench development?
It's not sitting on the bench. It's learning what.
Okay. So hold on, real quick. You said perfect scenario for Jordan Love, sitting on the bench learning.
Well,
perfect scenario for Brock Purdy right now, being on the field playing, what's the better option? Brock Purdy, though. I feel.
Yeah.
I'm sure you would agree,
For
right?
sure,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. But the thing is, you do have them rare players that are ready fucking
Day one.
Day one.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
And Brock Purdy happens to be one of them. Maybe not as ready as everybody wants him to be, but he's fucking ready enough. He's ready.
Yeah.
He's more ready than others.
So one thing
where Jordan Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers for what, 3-4 years, and we're seeing him struggle. Not saying he ain't a good.
He's
player,
had injuries this year, but
not saying he ain't a good player. And he, you know what I mean. He can't do things, but we're still seeing him struggle.
So if you
and that goes to say that there's 10 other guys on the field with him.
Oh, true. Yeah.
You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
And
so if you were to say who is elite, can you narrow playing right now? Can you narrow it down to 4 or 5? And do you think Brock's in there?
I've always said Brock's the top 5 quarterback.
So one thing I wanted to do, if we were to say give this team a grade, because a lot of people give them grades, right? Like A through C's or D's and F's and shit. So I was to say if you were to rate Brock Purdy on a scale 1 to 10 right now, just for this season, not what he did last year, where do you put him at?
Say 4 or 5.
Ooh, that's pretty low, bro. I didn't think you were gonna go that low.
Here's the thing, bro. You could tell a quarterback by how he plays, right?
Yeah.
Kansas City, 3 interceptions. Right?
Yeah. You know what I noticed last week?
He was 3 interceptions, but in 220 yards, something like that.
Yeah.
Next game. How many interceptions do you have?
0.
18 for 25, 280 yards.
But real quick.
So it's not what they do in the game, it's how they bounce back from what they do.
And he's really good on that. Yeah.
And so,
but I did want to note, right? So I wrote in my notes this week because I got to watch the game on TV. One of the first games I got to see Brock Purdy really frustrated early on, visibly, and they were showing it. They weren't, you know what I mean? They were letting everybody see it on camera. Him, looking at it, doing his little, throwing his little fucking, snapping his little thing off, taking his helmet off. I'm like, okay, Brock's upset now, and another thing that I've been seeing for him this year. That I think me and you, when I listened back to our other episode, we talked about it, was him being able to use his legs more. Last week, a prime example. There's a lot of times where
think about that. It goes head first. So we go. We go back to the Jimmy G kind of scenario of where Jimmy G wouldn't slide.
Yeah.
He would always either go head first or stay up and get tackled. Where if you're gonna take off as a quarterback, you got to slide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to have some, a decent career and some longevity in this league, you got to slide. They made these rules to protect the quarterback. Utilize them.
Bro, honestly, I'm
not that I'm a fan of the rules.
Oh no, yeah.
They're the rules, man.
Honestly, so
use
bro,
them
you
to
said
your advantage.
But you put the bar so low on Brock Purdy.
What do you mean?
With those numbers, you said 4 or 5 out of 10 for this season. I'm saying not. I should say set the bar so
10
low.
being
the highest. Oh, you meant. So I meant 10 being the best.
Oh shit, they're a 7 or 8.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Because I was gonna say, bro, what are you gonna rank the wide receivers? Which where I want to go next?
No.
But I would say,
yeah. I was thinking more a top 5, 3 or 4. 4 or 5, top 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean low to high. Yeah, I would agree with you on a 7. I feel like if he was,
like I said, we kind of had a little debacle last week over
debacle.
Well, last week you kind of said we've seen.
Remember the Jumbaco?
No,
it was
the Jim Boy's taco or the
Jumbo Jack / taco. America's so disgusting.
No, last week we kind of had a disagreement on you were saying we've seen Purdy's ceiling.
I think we have.
You can't say that, bro. He's still playing. He's still developing.
I feel but even Shanahan acknowledged it. Did you see that?
Who gives a fuck? Shanahan acknowledged himself as a fucking offensive genius, but he gives up fucking 3-score leads.
Yeah, I can't agree with him when I want to, I guess. Because that's just me using it in my favor. But, bro, he set the bar really. Now I can use that word. He set the bar really high for himself last year, and I don't know if that was a product of Kyle Shanahan's system.
Product of the media.
No, the stats don't lie. Numbers don't lie. He's passed for 4,000. He passed for the highest.
No, but it's both, bro. The media put so much on it, but you got to look at all the weapons he had. He passed for 4,000
Part of
yards.
it, yeah. They all had he had 4,000 yard receivers.
You had 4 receivers with 1,000 yards each. You didn't have like a receiver with 2,000 yards. Another one.
Jerry Rice,
So you got it, but your receivers were minimum 1,000, 1,090.
And that's what I mean. So there is like there's almost like and you talk about this too. Like you said, you might be in the idea that Brock Purdy might not want the huge contract. Like, like he might take a team-friendly contract, which some QBs have been known to do that, right? Because of some of his endorsements, he's already getting paid through other means, right?
Like Tom Brady.
So there is the potential that, Brock Purdy does, go that route. But then there is like the idea that Brock Purdy is playing for the contract, and that might offer a how would you say a conflict of interest throughout the season. You know what I mean? In terms of like what he might try to do on a field versus what Kyle Shanahan wants. But I'm personally at this point, I'm supporting.
Brock Purdy's a professional, and he's going to show up and do his job regardless of what the negotiations are
And what's on the
because
table.
at the end of the day,
He's
you're
a competitor.
negotiating with one team for something. If they ain't going to give it to you, and you don't perform, why would the other team give it to you? So you got to still go out there and perform because you're fighting for something, whether you get it from the 49ers or whoever.
And if
you still need to go out there and perform, in my opinion.
Let's say we had lost to Dallas and we were 3-5 right now in the bye week, and then Monday you and I wake up and they say breaking news: Brock Purdy has been traded. Would you be upset?
Yeah.
I think he's won the fan base over, bro. I think he'll be a quarterback for the 49ers for a long time.
It's more than winning the fan base over. If I were to wake up and see a Brock Purdy report trade, that tells me the Niners are giving up on everything. They're rebuilding.
Yeah, it's a good thing they won.
So who else is going to be getting traded? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think I could
because there's nobody out there that can replace Brock Purdy right now. As I've said over and over.
Gardner Minshew, dude.
I think he's
Sam Darnold.
Gardner Minshew. And Sam Darnold's fucking starting for Minnesota, so there's nobody available.
No, yeah. But again, back to the Brock Purdy ceiling, right? The reason why I say we've seen a ceiling in terms of we might see him.
We've already seen improvement from what he did last year.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna say. But there's other areas where.
But we've seen the ceiling.
No. What I was gonna say is there's areas where we need to see him step up. But so what I'm saying, like when we've seen a ceiling, like we might not see another 4,500 passing yard season from him for a while, right?
That's not a ceiling.
So what is the ceiling to you? Making a comeback win? Because that's what I okay. So that I would agree in that regard.
That 4,500 passing yard season, he ain't got that same roster.
Not right now, yeah.
Does.
Yeah. But no, they're all banged up. Yeah.
Exactly. So there's other things that come into play.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So you can't hold that to he's less productive this year.
No, yeah. But that's what I was saying. Like, so that's what I was like trying to say. Like, hey, like I do agree in regards to
his production is going to be based off what the other quarterbacks do in the league. So as long as his numbers,
pause mode. No Diddy. She just barely left for a month. So we left off. Bro, I need commercials, bro. That'd be dope. We should just make some AI commercials, like some parody commercials.
We should do them.
Yeah.
Act them out and just
like some skits.
Shit, we want to try to get endorsed by. Just for men. Depends.
Blue Chew, the sleeper app, Lumpies,
49ers.
Fucking Lumpies. They flaked on us last year. Anyways, so yeah, I think we covered Brock pretty well, bro. You and I have been pretty much in agreement, other than the ceiling thing. But so I do agree with like there is times where we can see him step up. Last week we talked about hitting more of those man-to-man, making obviously that's something they can practice. Maybe so. One thing I really like about Stroud, bro, is his actual quarterback play. His arm, really good, bro. Like the way he flicks the ball.
But just to touch back on the Brock Purdy ceiling thing, this is only really his second season as a starter.
True.
So
second and a half.
Second season as a starter. He wasn't a starter the first season. He came in. He came in and started after.
So this might be his sophomore slump.
But it's not a slump yet.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
He's still putting up better numbers than Mahomes. The team's banged up.
Sometimes I just want to talk shit.
We're putting a lot on Brock Purdy because the team's banged up. He ain't got the weapons he had.
So, but then that argues, and and that's why a lot of people bring it up and hold so much against him, right? Because a lot of people do say he's an elite quarterback, and a lot of people say he is going to get paid like an elite quarterback, and then they see what he can and can't do.
Well, here's the thing, man. When you're in practice and say you get 10 reps at one play.
Yeah.
And 3 of those reps, you're going to Debo. Boom. 3 of those reps, you're going to AU. Boom. 3 of those reps, you're going to Juwan Jennings. 2 of those reps, you're going to fucking George Kittle. 1 of those reps, you're going to fucking Cowie. You know what I mean? So you're building all that familiarity with
repetition,
Debo, Kittle, Juwan. Well, with Cowie, you only get 1 pass.
Yeah.
And most of the time, that's the last pass. So it's, you know what I mean? If he misses it, he misses it. Mm-hmm. Whatever. You know what I mean? They're not putting so much emphasis on it to where, hey, you got to hit Debo in stride.
It's kind of like a route.
You got to know where Debo's going to be at.
Almost like a route progression in a way.
No, but what I'm saying is Cowan gets a little more forgiveness because he's not a big name player. He's going to be a third string. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chances are you're not going to have to go to Cal.
Well, you said,
and that's why when you see these players that's a no name and they come up in like big games and make big plays,
it's because the quarterback.
All of a sudden they become like a fucking
household name. Yeah. Well, and that's not on Brock Purdy, but that's maybe something more of like the casual fans or the media might hold.
That's what I'm saying. When you say, oh, well, he ain't putting up that 4,500 yard season again. Well, yeah, because he ain't got Debo. He ain't got a healthy Debo. He ain't got a healthy AU. He ain't got the healthy Juwan. He ain't got the healthy Kill.
Yeah.
He ain't got the healthy McCaffrey. That's every one of his stars that ain't healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had that 4,500 yard season,
it was the healthiest we've ever been in a long time.
All of them were on the field at the same time.
And we might not ever have that again.
And to be honest with you, that's rare.
Just like Patrick Willis said it earlier, we played it on the podcast. We might not ever have that again. You know what I mean?
No, but how many times do you see a quarterback put up that kind of season?
Well, I think Patrick Mahomes does that every year.
4,000 yard receivers.
That is an offense. But
what I'm saying is, how many times
it was technically 3 1,000 yard receivers and then a 1,000 yard receiver rusher with McCaffrey. It was more like he had like 1,800 or something like that all together. But so it was like more like 5,000 like offensively like yards. But like Brock Purdy's output was like I think
Debo had like 400 rushing
yards. Yeah. Debo was a combined. McCaffrey was a combined, and then Ayuk had like 1,400. Kittle had like I think just over 1,100 maybe.
Hey, but not to change the subject. Speaking of Debo, man, I was at that game.
Oh yeah.
That motherfucker got some speed out of nowhere.
Hey, that's what I like about our podcast, bro. Is we come full circle all the way back. Because
bro, they were talking about Debo's not one of the fastest receivers. Bro, he was.
Oh, he turned it on.
He turned on the. I mean,
but he can't do it. But you gotta be honest, bro. He doesn't do it consistently. That's the thing. Like because he's gotten older.
You don't have to.
And that's why a lot of people argue, right? Like we talked about it earlier. Why does Kyle Shanahan put so much emphasis or hold the defense so accountable? When last year we see so much hate on Chase Young, Randy Gregory, even Nick Bosa, like when someone's like, oh, the effort's not there from the defense. But we've seen Debo not put the effort in.
With that being said, I wanted to bring up, I seen effort, speaking of effort, being there at the game live.
Oh.
Being there at the game live, I seen lack of effort at somebody.
Who's he?
At somebody you've been kind of touting pretty highly of is Pearsall. So I see a play where, you've been kind of talking highly of Pearsall, and we'll go back and watch.
All right.
But I'm watching the play, and we're in the red zone. Brock Purdy scrambling. He's running to their sideline. Pearsall's coming from our sideline. He's running across the middle. And he sees Purdy scramble, and he just stops running, stands there and watches the play. I'm sitting there yelling like, fucking, you got to fucking get open. You got to make something happen. Give Purdy something to fucking find. Don't just stop and fucking stand there and watch the play like this.
Okay.
Fucking, if you're running your route and your route's ended, fucking cut it up, turn around, put a fucking juke move on, do something to get open, throw your hand up, let him know you're open or you're trying something else. Let him, even if.
So first, me personally seen of that, regardless of who the player is, I don't think have you ever seen where people talked about Shanahan doesn't practice that?
But what I'm saying is we critique everybody for being lazy. We critique Chase.
We don't do it to the offense.
We critique Chase Young for being, you know what I mean?
No, I feel like you and I have been pretty.
As a fan, fan base.
But you mean like the overall, That's what, and that's another thing that's another service I feel like our podcast does is we're gonna call out other fans for you all being just fucking like, what'd you call it?
Casual.
And Lombardi's.
You guys listen to ESPN and all that. That's old news. This is new news.
You see, today Lombardi posted some shit about.
You guys got to stop listening to old news. This is new news. Start our own podcast, New News Media.
New News Media. You guys heard it right here. This is the official origin of New News Media. NNM.
We don't give you none of that watered down bullshit.
No, 100%.
We give you straight up bullshit. Facts.
God don't like flags. That's the will and faithful.
I don't compare. I don't care. I don't care one way or the other. Keep it in your bedroom.
Keep it in your pants as well. Anyways, all right, let's do rapid fire. You gave Brock Purdy a 7-8. What do you rank the wide receiver position this year? Regardless of injuries.
A 3.
3? Ooh, that's really low. True.
Due to injuries, you can't say regardless of injuries because they're getting that ranking based off their production because of injuries.
Who's been our best wide receiver this year, Ray?
Juwan Jennings, but then he got hurt.
Facts. One thing, I was honestly like caught by surprise right now when you said I was really supportive of Ricky Pearsall. I feel like I've been really hard on the guy. No Diddy.
You just critique him on the dancing and say we don't.
Yeah,
that, but you.
No, but last week, bro, he looked pretty good though. Some of those. Yeah.
Nah, like where I'm like, we wasted a pick on him when we could have got him later.
Oh, yeah. So draft position.
After all was said and done, Cowing, we should have probably wasted that pick on Cowing before him.
True.
You know what I mean?
So draft position. Regardless, right?
I'm more still of a skeptical on him. Of let's see what he could do.
Yeah.
Let's see if he was worth being, drafted.
That Chiefs game, I wasn't too hyped for him. You and I were pretty on the same page with like his targets and But this last game,
like McCaffrey coming back against the Bucs, I don't think he's going to be very effective.
I don't even know if he's going to be there, bro. I honestly don't think that we need him for the Bucs, to be honest. But how many times we've said, "Hey, well,"
but I'm saying when he does come back, I don't think. Him coming back
will be effective day one.
I don't think him coming back is going to be like,
nobody has.
Mason's on the bench again. Fucking McCaffrey's taking all the snaps.
Nobody has.
No, they got to ease him back in.
Hufanga came off injury.
But what I'm saying is he's not going to just come in and be the fucking guy.
That's what I'm saying. Hufanga came off injury. No impact. BA came off of no offseason. No impact. Like literally. Trent Williams took a while for him to have an impact. It felt like
big impact to his fucking ankle.
You got who else was it that didn't? You know what I mean? That just seems like hasn't really had an impact this season.
Everybody, Bosa when he held out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just been a tumultuous offseason. So you give the wide receivers a 3. I think tumultuous. When they do the little captions, it's gonna say tumultuous. I give the wide receivers I mean, it's not even like worth arguing, bro. It's like I might as well disagree with you, but I was gonna say like a 5, I guess, like just to be generous. But Juwan Jennings being the best wide receiver, you can't. Yeah. So
not even two of their 3 wide receivers. You know what I mean?
But I did like what Pearsall. He had a couple plays against Dallas where I was like, okay, I see what they like in him. You know, not my guy yet. Okay, so moving on. Running backs, Ray. Absence of Christian McCaffrey. What is your take on the running back group? Jordan Mason, regardless of injury. Isaac Brendo.
Is really what I wanted to touch on. Because,
you sure?
Yeah, I was narrow-minded on this topic. I was sitting there like, fucking, we don't need McCaffrey back. We ain't lost a step.
But you didn't believe in that, though.
Mason's putting up. Well, I just felt like, you know, if we didn't get McCaffrey back this season, that wasn't going to be the defining factor of our season.
I thought you were going to be like, oh, because we could trade McCaffrey.
No, not trade McCaffrey. But all I'm saying is I was kind of narrow-minded and just looking at it like, you know, Mason's been putting up fucking 5+ yards a carry. You know, we ain't lost a step in the fucking running back position.
Yeah.
Then I was talking to somebody and they kind of opened my eyes like, hey, man, yeah, it's cool Mason's putting up those numbers, but he ain't getting the passing yards that McCaffrey was getting.
It's a different aspect. Yeah.
He ain't going out for passes and attracting other, you know, the defensive players to open up the wide receivers. So I was just kind of like, I was just looking at the running aspect of it. I wasn't looking at the full impact player of him. I was just looking at more of the fucking.
But you're not wrong.
Yardage.
Yeah, that doesn't make you wrong.
No, it don't. Yeah. But it opened up my perspective to where, you know, McCaffrey might be more of an impact player than I thought. And
that goes back to what you were saying about being a decoy.
He might not have the production that everybody wants him to have, but he'll have that effectiveness of having somebody have to spy him, or, you know, they can't just let him go because. Yeah, he's coming off injury, but as soon as you fucking forget,
take your eyes off him,
you know, that might be one of the few plays he does get.
And he don't even have to run hard, like at full speed, you know, to fucking break some of these, you know what I mean, dudes in the NFL, you know what I mean? He ain't no offensive player of the year for no reason.
Here's the thing, bro.
The motherfucker's on a cover of Madden.
But here's the thing, bro. Like, him being an impact player, what do you think of? When I say him being an impact player, do you think of him scoring a touchdown and having an impact on the game like that? Or maybe being that third down fucking player we need for when Shanahan does call them stupid pass plays on 3rd and 2.
Reliable check down.
To be able to fucking catch it and make that first down to keep the drive going.
I think McCaffrey's presence on the field does open up the passing game.
It opens up the whole game.
Well, yeah, it gives you more running options, but that, again, I don't know if you're sorry. Yeah. Close quarters. We only have one camera. Sorry.
I need you guys seeing this angle right here. He just completely swiped from here on. And I'm wearing gray sweats.
I actually figured out how
I'm wearing gray sweats tonight.
So I figured out how to where we could use our phones as cameras.
Oh yeah.
But so I've been wanting to print out my notes, but my printer's out of ink.
I was Jason for Halloween.
Oh yeah. I was an illegal alien.
No,
almost ashless in my Hennessy. Party foul.
It would have been good.
Okay, so what number again, right? Good little I like what you said about the running backs. I like what you said about McCaffrey. You said what impact would he have?
I just got my eyes opened up to the bigger picture, not just I was narrow-minded on it. Just the run game. I didn't think of the pass game.
So when I said he would open up the pass game, I didn't mean just to him, but the fact that he would be a decoy, right?
No, you're right.
I feel like he was I couldn't put a number on it, but he was a factor in Brandon Ayuk's. He was a factor in Brandon Ayuk's success last year.
You repeated that. You got to edit that.
Sorry. I was gonna. Okay, let me repeat that. I was saying, I'm pretty sure I can't put a number on it, but Christian McCaffrey had an impact on Brandon Ayuk's production and numbers and success last year, just based on the fact that he does impact the passing game out of the backfield. And as you know, you take numbers off of. Imagine being a defensive coordinator, bro, and you hear commentators talk about this every Sunday. You're going up against the Avengers, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, Kyle Juszczyk. Imagine game planning for all these guys. You double teaming somebody most of the time, unless you're playing man to man, which is Brock Purdy's kryptonite.
I never looked at the passing game like McCaffrey doing that. I looked at it more like I looked at McCaffrey's
huge factor.
Not losing the running game, but we lost the passing game.
You got a number for the running backs?
Give him an 8.
Give him a 9, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In Chris McCaffrey's absence, Jordan Mason
I was
just
being modest.
I think one of the things
I didn't want to give them that high because they are
backups
and they are young.
Yeah.
But fuck, I mean,
but that's what we need.
But I think a 8's kind of right there because that gives them a hell of room to improve.
To improve, yeah. I give Jordan Mason a 9. I was a Garando 8. Put it like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, Garando still has room to work. I mean, he's got fumble problems.
Yeah, and I don't want to be
But you've seen the window of opportunity.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. The potential.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be
the potential he has, but the window of opportunity it opens up for our offense.
Almost. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Because he's so fast,
we don't even know if he can catch the ball in the backfield yet.
And that's what I've seen a lot of people bringing up this week too.
And that's kind of what
hitting him with some screens,
like we do. You utilize him like we do McCaffrey
or Deebo,
because he's got that speed just like McCaffrey to where if he gets that ball and he gets a little bit of room.
Yeah,
all he got to do is put fucking
feet to the fucking
just put one move on and get by one guy,
and he's gone.
You know what I mean? You get into that secondary, you get through that secondary. It's a foot race at that time.
Yeah. So shout out to all those guys. And I don't want to be a troll and just gloss over Juszczyk, but he does have his impacts. He's had his moments as a 49er. I know a lot of fans like him, so
he opens up the passing game too.
I give him a 6.
He opens up the passing game too.
Offensive line,
like a 5.
They're like right around like the middle. I would agree. Like we've seen Brock be under pressure, multiple passing snaps in a row. I don't know if that's a factor of not only, but I think I'm biased.
You just see Brock having to use legs a lot.
But that's what I wanted, right? So I was going to say, right, like I'm not mad when Brock can use his legs.
Here's the thing. Do you want him to use his legs to extend the play to be able to fucking get a receiver open, or do you want him to use his legs to fucking run down the field? You know what I mean? Because when he runs down the field, he's not smart and sliding me first.
So maybe that's why Ricky Pearsall didn't think he should break off of his route, because he didn't think.
Give a fuck what Ricky Pearsall was thinking. As a receiver, you're supposed to try to make something happen regardless.
And who's the best at doing that? Kansas City. Straight up, bro. They're the best at doing that shit. But that's what pisses me off the most. They know exactly what to do when Patrick Mahomes breaks out of the pocket. All their receivers just go wild and try to get open.
Just go watch DeAndre Hopkins play, bro.
Yeah, so the offensive line, bro, like it has its times, right? Like obviously they're out there opening holes for the run game, and then there's just been some times where like they don't, do really well. But Dominic Pooty, rookie at right guard, really, another rookie stepping up. He was a huge part of this draft class that's been really good this year. And then
he's been solid.
You can't gloss over Trent Williams, who had his own offseason troubles, but looks like he's coming into full form.
He didn't have no fucking troubles. He was being fucking greedy and selfish. Fuck that dude.
He is a silverback gorilla
because
that's what he calls himself. I'm not even making a joke.
You cried about that fucking contract. Now fucking continue to play like you want.
Like you need it, or you are that. Yeah. He continues to want to be.
I'm just tired of seeing these players get these contracts and not feeling like they have to play no more.
You know what trips me out, bro? You know what trips me out? And this might just be like
once they get what they want, they just, I got it, so I don't need to do it.
But I wouldn't say he does that like all out, like because he has games where he does put it on the line. We've seen it, right? But I was gonna say this, right?
Those games, I think they're against weaker opponents, lesser teams, to where when the teams are coming at him, he does give up pressure.
You know what he's been known for too? Sitting out the last game of the season.
I mean, if we got playoffs.
Oh yeah, if you can afford it, but he is a captain. He is one of the best dancers on the team, I guess. But check this out, right? Here's what I don't get,
I think
right?
his body dances when he moves. I don't think he dances just.
It goes. Some people might just be listening to the audio and be like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I was imitating Trent Williams. Check it out on YouTube.
I thought he was doing Dizzle dance.
Red and Gold Till I'm Dead and Cold podcast.
I'm drunk.
So a lot of people constantly refer to Trent Williams as a Hall of Fame left tackle. And I'm like, so in order for this guy to get to the Hall of Fame, like they're literally
I can see it, bro. Because look at the numbers. I mean, I'm being critical. I'm being critical on him right now, and saying he hasn't been fucking. He's giving up some pressure to sack. So fuck, bro.
I got a pussy hair in my tooth. Sorry.
This ain't here.
But I mean, that's what I was gonna say. So how did you make him a Hall of Fame left tackle when he played for Washington and San Francisco? And doesn't have a Super Bowl, so they're gonna have to go through his numbers and be like, "This is why he's a Hall of Fame left tackle."
There's plenty of players that are Hall of Famers.
For real?
Jim Kelly, quarterback, been to the Super Bowl like 3 times, I think, and lost it. 4 times and lost it.
Yeah, one of those great 30 for 30s on ESPN.
Old news.
Shout out again, OJ Simpson.
Old media.
Is Jim Kelly dead? If he is, RIP Jim Kelly. If he's not, sorry. Hey, whatever happened to Chad Kelly? I remember I was the biggest Chad Kelly fan coming out of, what was it? He was Oklahoma. So the blue and orange team? Oh, wait, no. The red and orange team?
No, the blue and orange, you're right. That's Boise.
No. Where did he come from?
Boise.
He came from Boise? Chad Kelly?
Yeah, he was kind of.
No, wasn't he the other team from Baker? Where was Baker?
Baker was.
Oklahoma, right? I think he was Oklahoma State. Chad Kelly.
Arkansas.
Look it up real quick. But dude, I remember being the biggest Chad Kelly fan and like telling people like, man, I want the 49ers to draft Chad Kelly. And then he like raped somebody. And then I think the Broncos still like drafted him even after he raped somebody or some shit. I don't know.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. That's what it was. Yeah, he was Ole Miss. He can't, because isn't he like Peyton Manning's nephew? Look, Google that real quick. Google if let me see. Let me chat GPT it. Sometimes they're quicker. Is Chad Kelly related to Peyton Manning? No, Chad Kelly is not directly related to Peyton Manning. Chad Kelly is the nephew of Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly. Oh, that's tripping. Jim Kelly. What? So dumb.
Can we just talk about it?
We're faded. There's no familiar relationship between Chad Kelly and Peyton. I'm such a dumbass.
Have you seen this yet?
What is that?
JD Vance and fucking.
I haven't listened to that one yet. I barely listened to finished listening to the Trump one this week. We left on it last week.
I'm gonna re-listen to that one because
but he did say if he got elected this year, he'll for sure release the JFK and the UFO shit. But he said that last time too. So. But you know what I did see, bro? And it's a lot of bullshit. Sometimes they just say shit to get elected, and then they go, "Oh, we can't make it happen because the Democrats." Blah, blah. But he did say they were gonna do no tax on overtime. That'd be so fucking dope, bro. Can you imagine?
Well, he's trying to do it with tax security.
I'd be going to work like, hey, need that overtime, bro. I'm a union worker,
bro. I could get help.
Yeah, they told me how I could get some, but I would have to kind of like broaden my horizons, you know. But it's always kind of cool too. All right, offense. I think we said 5. Let's go to the defense. Defensive line 4. 7's way too generous, bro. Way too generous.
Still solid defensive line. They just ain't got the rotational pieces to keep their legs fresh. Like I said, they don't got the complementary football.
But, okay, so we know the defense hasn't been as good this year as it was last year, regardless of whoever's at the defensive coordinator position, right? But every year we've seen the number of sacks go down. Like I can like hang my hat in that one. I don't know the numbers right now, but bro, I don't think we're getting nowhere near the amount of sacks we got last season either.
We see our fucking depth go down too. As we talked about earlier, we used to have it to where our second string were starters anywhere else.
Okay, so look at this ranking.
We don't have that no more. We don't even have who's our second string?
Who named someone in the front 7 besides Warner and Bosa? Floyd, Okawanu, Devondre Campbell.
Campbell's out.
Winters. He had a concussion last week. I think.
In what's his name got hurt, right?
Front 7 be banged up. But I think that's what I mean. So yeah, like you could be like favorable, and I think I talked about that last week with the coaching. Is like my fear is that if Shanahan does fuck up enough to where this season is like, if we don't go to the Super Bowl, bro, it's a failed season. That's the way I look at it, right? I don't care, regardless of injuries. We're dealing with a genius. We're dealing with an elite quarterback now, according to half of the consensus. I feel like if we don't go back to the Super Bowl, it's a failed season. If we don't win it, it's definitely like done for this roster. I feel like it's a rebuild for 2026. My fear is that they would keep Shanahan because people will give him a pass because of all the injuries, you know?
Well, here's the thing too. Who's gonna replace Shanahan?
Ray J. Garcia,
Kyle
J. Vigil.
Co-head coaches,
co-coach,
and we'll have a unpaid intern coach.
Yeah, we'll be recording live during the game.
Cortez.
Yeah, nah. But that's the thing though. I think if us as fans, we'll sit back and I said it last year. I predicted a 49ers 2025 coach would be Deion Sanders. Full prediction.
Nah.
It's absolutely never going to happen. He's probably going to end up coaching for somebody else if he doesn't stick with Colorado. But you threw it out last week, the Ben Johnson guy. But it might be there's no guarantee. It might not just be coaching, you know. Sometimes it's just lightning in a bottle. You feel me? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Okay, here's the thing.
Bill Belichick. A lot of people throwing that motherfucker out there.
Here's the thing. They're also the fucking assistant coach. Something. They'll promote from within. So.
I think they need an offensive coordinator, to be honest.
But here's the thing. So
okay.
Oh no. Okay. So after
train of thought.
Anytime we've had a decent coach that done anything for us, it took us to playoffs and Super Bowls.
Harbaugh, Shanahan.
Okay. Now after Harbaugh,
Mariucci.
After Mariucci, how many coaches did we have before we got Harbaugh?
Fucking 3, 4. Nolan, Singletary, Tom Sula. Oh no, that was.
But what I'm saying is, okay, now after Harbaugh, Tom Sula, fucking old boy from
Kelly,
Oregon, Chip
yeah.
Kelly.
And then we got Shanahan.
And then never worked out. And then we got Shanahan. Been pretty.
Had to go through a little. We had to go through a little rebuild.
We've been pretty consistent, right? So, I'm critical on Shanahan, but if we get rid of him, probably going to go through that little fucking
that's okay
cycle of 3 or 4 coaches before we find another coach. So that's going to
okay.
That's going to be rebuilt. We're not going to be shit. We're not going to have an identity as a team. Right now, we have an identity.
So before you go too far, I see a lot of people saying that's why they've been calling us the Dallas Cowboys of the West, because at this point they say that the Yorks are just okay with being like okay, get to the playoffs, make the money. We're gonna get the money.
I could see that because they got a stadium they got to pay off.
Exactly. So we're gonna be in the same situation the Cowboys are with Dak Prescott. We paid Brock Purdy $60 million. We can't afford weapons.
It's to a point where the fans are starting to like, hey, we need results. We can't just see either fucking because. The fans, at the end of the day, they have a lot of.
But they won't fire Shanahan. That's the thing, though. Unless
the fans have a lot of say. I mean,
unless we don't win another game,
we don't go to fucking Jed York and say, "Hey, we don't like Shanahan."
We should though. The Raiders did it to fucking Davis and.
But they hear it. They hear it. They hear the fans complain. They hear this shit. Yeah. The media puts it out there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they see it. They hear it. It's just not us personally going to them and saying this.
Yeah.
And I feel like, personally, I see something with Kruger. No.
I'm really starting to like Kruger, bro. You kind of put me on him. Cool.
It's nasty.
Isn't it? You tried it?
Work around the corner from that.
You guys heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
It's expensive, and it's not that good.
It's just barbecue.
I've had better.
Yeah, you can make your own.
Anyways, what I was saying is, I think if we do get rid of Shanahan, I think we're going to be in one of them stages of having to going through 2, 3, 4 coaches before we find the next, coach that's going to give us our identity. And that's going to be pretty fucked up for Brock Purdy.
I think that's what a lot of people don't want to accept, and that's why they don't like.
It's going to be fucked up for Brock Purdy, Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, Rando Cowing.
That goes back to earlier in the show. We played it from. We talked about Steve Young's comments. We talked about Patrick Willis's comments about this team looking very different next year.
They said that last year.
We said that.
They said it too.
But that's because it's rare to see we used to see people get fired left and right in the NFL. And now, I think I said it last week, it just seems like, they're very like afraid to fire people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're getting off the subject. So
yeah, we left off on defensive line. So linebackers, obviously it's a very fucking limited crop to pick from.
That's a 4.
Well, as a position group, you only have like 2 dudes to really pick from. Fred Warner, who is potential defensive player of the year, and Devontae Campbell, who's an absolute, fucking, I don't know, you know what I mean?
I think they need to start giving some of these youngsters some opportunities.
Yeah.
All of them showed potential.
But the scheme also limits positional opportunity, right? There's a lot of times where it's only 2 linebackers on the field because the 49ers rely on that heavy nickel, where they either go 3 corners or 3 safeties. So there's only 2 linebackers on the field, and Shanahan wants fucking his veterans out there.
But that's fine because your 3 safeties are all fucking hitters. They're like linebackers.
Well, so let me kind of throw this at you real quick, and we don't have to like go too in depth on it. Maybe we can save it like when we listen back. Because I know you and we'll listen back, so maybe we'll come back to this on the next episode. You just really Peter Griffin the word "cum"? That's how you know you drank a little too much. No, I don't even know what I was talking about now.
Peter Griffin.
No, before that.
Cum.
I'm sorry, baby. No Nut November's only gonna last like 13 hours.
You say baby.
Talking to my girl. I'll let her know I'm gonna be home soon.
I failed it at midnight.
No Nut November's not gonna last.
I failed it at midnight.
Yeah, 24 hours. Nah, fuck. What was I gonna say now? I was gonna say, we'll have to look at this deeper. Oh, so we have to look at this deeper. A lot of people are complaining about the defense. What if it's a scheme position thing? I used to really like the old 3-4 scheme, and we've seen that this 4-3 or 4-2, this heavy nickel, isn't working as well. Yeah, but they've only been putting majority of the time, it feels like we only rush 4 and we're not getting home. You know what I mean? And then when we do blitz, we're getting beat. Real quick, we already covered the linebackers. Like I said, maybe we'll come back to that. You can elaborate on more, but let's go to a secondary. What would you say?
7.
Not bad. I've seen a lot of people saying we have one of the best secondaries in the NFL, and I'm like,
fuck yeah, Renardo Green is a beast.
He's been, another rookie that's really been stepping it up is Renardo Green. But Dialmert Eleanor, I want to say next to Fred Warner, second best player on the defense this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You guys heard it here. 49 Problems endorse Dialmert Eleanor, second best player on the defense this year. If it wasn't for Fred Warner, who's playing like an absolute animal. Breaking news. Ray got something.
He arguably second, could be right there at 3.
Woohoo! I thought you were going to say arguably number 1 with Warner. Arguably number 3 with Hood. No, better not say Bosa. Bro, over Bosa, bro. And it has nothing to do with the MAGA hat. I'm over with Bosa's. I see so many fans reposting clips of him being held. And I'm like, bro, at what point is Nick Bosa just going to throw one of these motherfuckers on the ground, take the penalty, the one-time 15-yard penalty, and then tell the ref, hey, dude holds me again, throw the flag, or I'm going to throw him on the fucking ground again. Like, when is Bosa just going to man up and, like, power through all these holds instead of just flopping like LeBron James? LeBron James!
But he's still getting the pressures. He's not getting the stacks. He's getting the pressures, forcing the quarterback to throw the ball sooner than he wants to.
But we're 4-4.
Stats.
Guerrero?
You can't argue stats on one player with the other. It's got to be all around. If we're gonna argue stats, it's got to be stats. You got to look at stats.
But I'm not one of the pressure guys though. I have to be honest on that.
I'm not either, but it's an effective defensive stat.
But again, we've seen that.
You're just going off. Okay, so
I'm going off of like, to me, I'm saying like.
So let's compare this to.
So you can't say Brandon Ayuk isn't living up to his contract because he's not like catching, passes and touchdowns when he's still out there making blocks. So it's like, oh well, Bosa's getting pressures. He's living up to his contract, but he's not out there getting sacks.
So let's go back to a couple episodes ago, maybe last one when we were saying when I told you, when I was saying that I've been critical on Ayuk for not living up to the hype, but at the same time he hasn't been getting the opportunities to live up to the hype because
Nick's out there.
Purdy's getting pressured, not having time to get him the ball. You know what I mean? So I was critical on him, but I was also defensive of him.
Okay. So I completely agree in that regard, right? Like you were critical. I don't think I've ever been too critical of Nick Bosa up until this point. You know what I mean? So I do agree with you. Like, yeah, like you were critical. Like, you know how last week you were like, oh, you were trying to say, you're like, you're like holding you accountable to what I wanted for the offense, which is true, right? but like, so you're holding yourself accountable is what you're saying, like in a way, right? Like, so I understand where you're coming from, right?
But I said arguably 2 or 3.
But that's what I'm saying. So like, but the majority of the fan base was hating on Brandon Ayuk before he got hurt. And then the moment he got hurt, like, show your support, right? But you guys can't, not you guys, not you, but you guys.
Put me in there too.
No, because I don't think you would, because I mean, for the most part, you and I know the reality was he wasn't getting most of those opportunities, but he was still out there blocking. He was still out there running his routes. He wasn't half-assing it like
targets.
He wasn't half-assing it like who was he talking about half-assing it earlier? Pearsall? He was, BA was out there running every route. Yeah, BA was out there doing his thing, even if he wasn't getting the ball. And that's one thing you can rely on BA for, I feel. And if it wasn't for him getting hurt, he's one of the few guys I could say you could probably confidently buy a jersey for. But I don't know who you could buy a jersey for this season. I know you do. You got Huff, you got BA. But I don't know, dude.
Warner.
All these players are just getting older. So I'm
you know what I need to get? I need to get me a Kittle one.
I want a Lenore, bro, but we have to see what happens there, too. Did you give a final number on the quarterbacks? You said 7?
Bro, Renardo Green is a motherfucking beast.
You know what? I see we're tied for second in interceptions this year.
Malik Mustafa is a fucking beast, bro.
Yeah.
He's just
rookie, bro. Being a huge thing this year.
Mustafa is he's like Shanahan when it comes to Mahomes, bro. That's his kryptonite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He let Mahomes not only score, but fucking
that was his welcome to the NFL.
Lay him out and become a highlight reel of Mahomes.
Yeah. That was his welcome to the NFL. I'm a robot.
Malfunction.
Nah, I guess I would have to give them an 8, bro. And it's not much different. But the only reason why I would say is because they're number 2 in interceptions this year. Last year, I think we were like right there.
Yeah, but that's Warner. No,
it's Lenore
and Warner. But here's the thing, man. I gave him a 7 because they don't like Hunga's not even out.
But that's
Greenlaw's not even out.
Yeah. Okay. So
you know what I mean, so they got
room. Yeah, there's a lot of room to grow. This is mid-season though. We're saying like what happened now from the beginning to now. You know, versus your thoughts going into the preseason. Are you looking at my nipples?
No.
I'm self-conscious now.
No ill intention thoughts.
Yeah. No ill intention thoughts.
You said thoughts, and
you're speaking of thoughts.
Got in my thoughts.
Barista thoughts.
Barista thoughts.
Yeah, you seen the barista thoughts, like on the web. No. My girl got mad the other day because I was telling her about. I've seen this like ad on Instagram for a dealership, right? And it was like a skit, and I thought it was hella funny, right? And then it turned out to be real, but the skit was So like one of the managers walks by, like the two sales ladies, and the manager got a big old butt, bro, like Mexican chick, right? Like big old ass, like goddamn, like holy shit, right? Latina, right? Like you already know, right? You know what I'm talking about? No. Have you seen this? Okay, so then she walks by, and then like she says something to the other chicks about, like something about their job, whatever. And the chicks look at each other, and this like one like kind of plays like the airhead role. She looks at the other girl and she goes like, "Hey, why does everybody in the comments?"
Sounds like the beginning of a porn.
No, hey. So they go, "Why does everybody in the comments say when did we start selling dump trucks?" And I started laughing. I'm like, "That's pretty funny." And I'm like, so I go and click it, and it was a real dealership. And they're making all these little social media videos, and these are real sales ladies and shit. But it was pretty funny. And then my girl was like, "Oh yeah, of course that would be in your feed." And I'm like, "Yeah, big old butts." What am I like? What's supposed to be in my feed?
Big old nuts.
Right now, I'll get those. Right now, it's all No Nut November videos, bro. It's hella funny, bro. It's like, I will not fail. I will succeed.
Just doing push-ups and shit.
Ray, what do you rate the special teams?
Fucking 0.
0. Fuck special teams. Ray, what do you rate the head coach? -3. 3?
The best option right now.
He's our best option?
Who else? We talked about Ben Johnson, but he's not proven. He's proven to be a good offensive-minded coach, which Shanahan is the same.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's going to be the answer. Right now, Shanahan at least has got us to the postseason more than he's had losing seasons. This is only going to be Shanahan's second losing season in 8 seasons? 7?
So he's had 8 seasons, and he's had 3 losing seasons. So 5. If he wins this season, it'll be 5 winning seasons. If not, it'll be 4-4, like his record right now. Which is pretty consistent with him. He's 4-4 in open season openers. I was listening to our preseason game or podcast, and I was predicting that we were going to lose to New York, and then afterward, I remember saying that I think I wanted to like kind of see this team get punched in the mouth, because last season we were 5-0, and when Cleveland punched this team in the mouth, they just weren't the same, and I wanted them to experience that early, before it became too late, and that was kind of like the reasoning and like the theme of my season prediction throughout that whole episode. And I'm right where we thought we were, just like last year, bro. Like I don't know, bro. I might predict the end of the world one day. So check in here periodically, ladies and gentlemen. Ray, you want to do lotto numbers? Last week we did sleeper picks, but they didn't do that well. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think this might be a good spot to maybe kind of start wrapping this up. It's the bye week. Can't even think of a title for this episode. Last year it was bye week blues, but Ray, 49ers, a lot of people say they righted the ship. I heard Colin Cowherd put them in the top 5 of teams to keep up, but to not over or underestimate or whatever.
Again, I hear a lot of old media.
Who's good at?
I hear a lot of old media saying we're going to still be right there in the mix at the end of the season. And
Shanahan said that this week.
With the roster, with our players, I don't doubt it. As I've said before, like I think our players deserve it more than anybody. Kittle, Juszczyk, you know what I mean? They're the originals.
Yeah.
They're the ones,
they've been through it. Yeah.
They've been there from the beginning. Debo and Ayuk both been through both the Super Bowl lots of time.
Debo was in 2019. This was Ayuk's first.
Ayuk in 2020?
Yeah. Bosa was in 2019. Warner, Greenlaw.
Bosa, Greenlaw, Warner.
Huff was not.
Debo.
CMC was not.
Kittle, Juszczyk.
Kittle was. Juszczyk was.
They deserve it. I think they need to do it for them.
Yeah, they deserve. So, and you know what? And this is like my fan position. We've talked about this plenty of times on this podcast. Catcher? No.
In the right?
No, the catcher in the right? No. I was saying, like, I want to only buy jerseys from the champions. And how many times have we seen, like Patrick Willis, shout out Hall of Fame, right?
Got a
But
jersey.
never got it, but never got a
Patrick Willis football.
but never got a Super Bowl.
Got a Hall of Fame induction.
Navarro Bowman, Anquan Bolden, like these are all players like that I fucking like was like, damn, that was like one of my favorite players at one point in time, Frank Gore.
Got a Navarro Bowman jersey.
Frank Gore. I know you don't like Alex Smith, or we could Colin Kaepernick and Alex Smith, like whether or not they deserve the ring, like that's up for debate. But Justice Smith, defensive tackle,
came close to having a ring.
You know what I mean?
Well, Justice Smith for sure.
Defensive tackle, Justice Smith. So you look at all these these players that never got that ring, and it was sucked to not see. We see Kittle broke. I think he's third in passing yards as a 49er right now, just under Terrell Owens. Jerry Rice being the top, probably never anybody will ever fucking get near him. Even though he played for Seattle Seahawks, apparently. Larry Rice.
Larry Rice, his twin brother.
Larry Ray Garcia.
Might have to change my
Rarely?
acronym to Ray L. Garcia.
Are you Larry Rarely? Are you really Larry?
Ray L. Garcia.
Larry Garcia.
Larry
J. Garcia.
Larry J. Garcia.
Larry J. Garcia show.
Larry.
Hey, when you start your own show, you should be the Larry Ray J. Garcia show.
Larry J. Garcia.
And then maybe Kruger will put you on.
It'll be French.
And he'll be Larry and Larry.
It'll be French. It'll be Larry. Out there like a little Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah. What were we saying? 49ers riding the ship, apparently. 4-4, we got Tampa Bay coming up. 49ers have only gone on a losing streak this year. They haven't gone on a winning streak. Last year, we seen them come out of the bye week and defeat Jacksonville. A little bit of a coincidence there. We're playing another Florida team. Maybe that plays in our favor. Tampa Bay's banged up, but we've seen banged up teams somehow have success against this 49ers team this season. So no win is guaranteed at this point, so we can't hang our hat on it. But I'm expecting the 49ers to bounce back out of the bye week. I'm sure you and I will be able to get together before that game. They haven't been able to this year, but this is the point in time in the year where they're
going into the bye week off one.
That's what I'm saying. So this is the point in time in the year where they need to start stringing some wins together, right?
That's the good thing about this bye week is we can't lose. Optimistic.
Yeah, you said that last year too. We were on a 3-game losing streak, remember? And that's what Shanahan said. He said we've been here before, and he said there's guys in the roster.
Bro, I predicted every year.
Well, and it's weird, bro. How many coincidences?
That's the 1 week I get right every year.
Yeah.
No matter what.
The bye week?
Bye week. We never lose.
Would you look at that? But
I'm like modern day Nostradamus, and it's not because I got a big nose.
Well, it's funny because they used to call me Bostradamus.
Bostradamus?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to know why.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
Bosa?
Oh, no.
I got it.
No, but yeah.
Bosa.
Bostradamus. Hey, he might have predicted the Trump election. Shout out. Dia de los Muertos. O.J. Simpson. My grandma.
My uncle.
Michael Jackson.
My Uncle Johnny. Real big in the fucking Chicano culture in San Jose. Back in the early 90s, 80s, 90s. Part of the raza out there. Real big, built it up, San Jose State. Yeah, we're just paying homage to all those that came before us.
No, most definitely. And we make jokes on this podcast a lot, but we are huge fans of this team, and always shout out. I shouldn't say shout out, but prayers
respects
to Travis Ward and the situation he's dealing with. We both have kids. Terrible situation.
His daughter.
Yeah. Something that hit home, for me earlier this week when I seen it, bro. That shit fucking ruined my day. But
sure. I never want to see nothing like that happen to anybody.
Yeah, so if he ain't, I wouldn't even be mad if he.
Especially somebody
we
idolize and watch every Sunday.
Yeah, these are our,
yeah.
These are our heroes, and I know what we are to our kids. So that's
I'm their hero. Talking about.
We're over here cheering up.
They're watching this like.
That's what I was saying, but
I wish I could be a podcaster, but here I am just fucking tackling the fuck out of people, making touchdowns, but he gets to be on a podcast.
The audacity, I was thinking that, bro. It was like the audacity we would have to think that they would ever hear this, but regardless of the fact, there might be someone that would listen to this, and it's just all about respect.
They might have a fucking little cousin, little brother, little somebody that listens to. Who knows?
Yeah.
I listen to it.
Everybody grew up. I feel like everybody grew up as a fan at one point, and just terrible to see that. But
my son makes fun of me because I'm fucking driving to work. I'll throw on the little fucking YouTube, put it on for a little hour and a half drive.
Yeah,
I sit there and laugh at us, bro.
Yeah,
I watch this shit back like, God damn, I'm stupid.
He can listen to this and be like, "What the fuck?"
Fuck Cortez last week, bro.
I know, huh?
He wasn't even doing that. He's doing it again. What am I doing? He's easy, bro.
I tried to call him, but he was busy.
Got a new boyfriend.
Yeah. It's no nut November, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got a new boyfriend, and they're trying to. When you first get in a relationship and you guys want to be together all the time, 24/7, it's a struggle right now. Because like Kyle said, no nut November. Them single guys, they ain't even made it official. They're just friends.
Yeah, he probably won't make it too official. We're not hiring anyway, so. Ray,
I told me to get a 50-cent raise. Oh, I said $1. I fucking got his hopes up and told me he'd get $1 raise. And he's unpaid right now, so he'll be making $1 now.
So by the time we record again, we might have a new president, or we should have a new president. Unless somehow
we should record on
Tuesday. We might have to do an emergency episode. Trade deadline. The 49ers might make some moves.
I'm gonna try to get out to vote Tuesday. Get out early to vote.
I personally don't vote. I wasn't allowed to vote for the majority of my life, and I'm not about to start to help anybody out. But I do appreciate anyone that gives me money for no reason, and Trump did that multiple times. Actually, bought this computer we are recording on right now. So shout out Donald Trump. Shout out Stimmies. I need a Stimmy. Anytime you want to shoot a Stimmy, anytime you want to sponsor the podcast.
I just want a Stizzy.
And I think we'll see you guys here soon. 49ers will be back. This was the bye week. What should we call this episode?
Bye week blunders.
Bye week blunders. Bisexual week.
Cortez ain't involved.
I don't know. I'll think of a name. Anyways, Ray, who got it better than us?
Nobody.
For the 49 Problemz podcast, brought to you by the Red and Gold Till I'm Dead and Cold podcast network. About the same.
Chug it to go out. Who has it better than us?
Nobody.
Red and Gold till we're dead and cold.
49 Problemz. Kyle J. Vigil.
Ray J. Garcia.
See you all next time.
RGDC. Instagram.
YouTube.
Red and Gold Red and Gold till I'm dead and cold on YouTube and Spotify.
Yep. If you look it up, you should be able to find it. Anybody that says they can't, it's because they're not looking hard enough.
Is it all one word?
No, you should be able to space it out.
It's spaced out?
Yeah. When I do it.
Yeah, Red and Gold till I'm dead and cold. Space in between.
Yeah. And Instagram. If you can't, just message us on Instagram. RGDC Podcast.
Send you a link.
Ray, 49 Problemz.
Ray at 49 Problemz.
We out.